Looks like we are live. What's up, folks? Got the camera on today. Probably got moved in to the new place here, so just using the room here. It hasn't had anything, hasn't had anything added into the room here yet, but hopefully over time that will change. What's up, Tekken Nation? Solid Redfield. Thank you all for joining me on once again another impromptu stream, of course, because this is something that I have talked about before. I got to kind of go over it. I mean, I'm kind of inclined a little bit to go over this stuff here at this point. So let me fix my sound here real quick because it sounds kind of odd. Let me fix. Here we go. There we go. Fixing the sound. There we are. We'll wait for more people to come in here. I should have some. What's up, Doom Studios? Dexter. What's up, Gabe the Gen? Waiting for a couple more people to filter in here, and then we'll get started with this. Because as we know, for those of you that don't know, looks like Ohm has spoken up again. This time he has done an interview with somebody that is, that has made allegations against H2O Delirious. Now, this is a person that had come out before and had said something, but then went pretty quiet pretty quickly. But I'm going to be going over this. What's up, Kyra the Ninja? First time here since the drama started. Well, thanks for being here. I've caught Lanz's video on him, or Lanz's video on him. Cool. Yeah, I'm waiting on a couple more people. Should have some people, should have some co-hosts tonight on this. But like I said, we're going to be going over the video and going to be going over Delirious's response to all this as well. So I'm just going to look at this. I'm really going to take a kind of down the middle view on this because I've already went through the interview once, but when you go over something again, you might end up finding something or hearing something that you didn't hear the first time around. Same thing with the Twit Longer that Delirious put out. I'm going to come over it a little bit here. We have a little bit of a discussion about it. What's up, B-Bear Gaming? I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well tonight. As what day is it today? It's July. Let's see. Obviously, it's Wednesday. Wow, I didn't realize it was Wednesday already. So, what's up, Tokyo Rider Go? How you doing? So, like I said, we're gonna wait for a couple more people to get up in here. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to show up, and like I said, then we're just gonna get right into it. So, hope y'all are doing well. Glad to see y'all join. I hate to be bugging you about this, but I'm just wondering when Hedges Type R11 will come. When I get around to it, honestly, it's I've been pretty busy outside of YouTube stuff. That's why this is the first stream in a while. But hopefully, I could get back to kind of a normal schedule of doing things again. Dexter asks, "Do you think Ohm is a dickhead?" Look, not a fan of the guy. I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I say I'm not a fan of the guy. Not so much. It's not really personal for me, right? In the sense, I don't know him. I don't hate him. I just don't think that the way he went about handling some of this stuff was the right way to do it, in my opinion. Maybe he would say otherwise. He probably thinks otherwise, and that's fine. He's entitled to his opinion on it. I think that there was probably a much better way to handle this, and he didn't take that route, my opinion. I think there's a lot of stuff, a lot of the criticism that he's gotten is completely justified. But of course, look, I'm going to say this, regardless of what's said here on this stream tonight, obviously don't hit the guy up, don't harass him, don't threaten him, any of that. Obviously, not for that. I condemn that, I disavow that. And honestly, that's not a productive way to handle things, I think. It's better for us to just talk about this here, look at what we have presented, give our opinions here, just kind of see what kind of conclusion we come to here based on what's publicly available. So what's up, Kayla? So Kayla, I think, is expressing the sentiment of a lot of people in this chat. Let's hope the drama Doom Studio says, let's hope the drama stops soon, then we can move on. Yeah, it always seems like once this starts to die down, something else seems to come up. There seems to be something to keep all this going. So let's see. Bieber, will you be reviewing the new He-Man series? Yes, I think I will be. Well, once it comes out, I'm planning to do a video on He-Man here sometime here in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. if you've been liking those videos. Hey, what's up? See the Wave? How you doing, buddy? Gabe the Gen says, don't know much about these YouTubers. Seems like Ohm isn't handling this right. I don't know. Yeah. Well, look, I think when it comes to serious allegations against people that are relating to abuse of some kind or some kind of child enthusiasm, if you know what I mean, I think that those are very serious allegations that need to be handled very responsibly, because the thing is, when you're just throwing out these accusations the way that a lot of people do online, they're not considering not so much how those can be damaging to the person that they're accusing, but the people that are associated with that person by extension, you know what I mean, whether it be family members, you know, business partners, whatever, you know, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, you know what I mean? They're not considering how this can potentially affect them, especially because these are people that have a public profile. They're known to some capacity, even if it's just internet famous to some capacity, they have some kind of public profile. And there is people, depending on how big they are, that might recognize them where they're at, right? And you don't know how this could adversely affect their normal day-to-day. And like I said, or by extension, somebody that is with them, right? Let's say one of these people is out with their wife and kids, or a mother and father, and they have no idea of any of this stuff happening, and they're getting harassed in public somewhere and being told stuff about this situation that they honestly might not have anything at all to do with, or may not even know about, and they end up becoming collateral damage in the situation. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people think of when it comes to these types of allegations. They don't think beyond just trying to get at the person that they're really trying to get at and how it might affect others. So what's up, Corono? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for being here. Obviously, look, the CND didn't seem to work, right? Because Ohm put out a video. He put out a video some hours ago. So obviously it didn't work. So Sen, get in here, man. I sent you the link. Hop in whenever, man. Tekken Nation says, why do people these days seem fine to put cases like this publicly online? I'm so saddened that this is what the current community we're living in. Look, I think that if people are going to tell their story publicly, I would assume it's because or I'm going to assume in most cases, if you're going to take it the route of social media, it's because you've exhausted all other options, or maybe that you feel that you have no other recourse but to do it this way. I think the best way to handle it, if you're interested, and I've said this several times before, I've said it on Crow's stream, I've said it on just about any stream that I've been on. If you are actually interested in getting justice, then going online should not be your first resort. You know what I mean? Go to the police, go to some kind of authority, go to, man, you know, if it has to do with kids, go to the Department of Children and Families, you know what I mean, Child Protective Services, whatever it's called in your state. Do something that actually can be put into some legal documents or some kind of federal government type of documentation, so that some case can be built against somebody if they're a person that's actually doing something wrong. Doing it online, to me, like I said, this is just my opinion, and y'all are welcome to agree or disagree, but if you're going to take these accusations online, then I don't believe that you're interested in justice. I believe you're only interested in getting attention. That's my own personal opinion on that. If that is your first resort, like I said, if you have exhausted all other options, you filed your police reports, you've talked to everybody you could, and you have solid evidence and nothing has worked, you've gone to the media and they've ignored you, and this is like your last stand, so to speak. Okay, maybe, you know what I mean? I think that's a little bit different. But when it's the first thing, when it's the first thing you're inclined to do is pick up your phone and tweet about it, or to go to Facebook and post on your wall about it, I'm going to have questions. Because it's very easy to fake a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? So let me see. Bowsette, what's up? Haven't seen you here in a while. See, the crazy thing, that's another thing, and that's something I'll probably address more as the stream goes on. This whole thing of just wanting an apology is strange to me. Because if you're a person that has been victimized by somebody, I would think that you would want more than just to get an apology from them. I would think that you'd want to see them in jail, that you'd want to see them punished for what they're doing, and that you want to make sure that nobody else gets victimized the way that you've been. So to me, that's always very strange when they say, all I want is an apology. Well, what is an apology going to do? You know what I mean? If this person's still able to walk free, you know what I mean? What is your apology going to do for the next person that might potentially be a victim? And I'm not saying that Delirious did any of these things, right? I'm saying it from the point that if these people really feel that they were the victim of a crime, why wouldn't they want to seek justice? Why wouldn't they want to make sure that this is something that won't happen to anybody else? Because a lot of times you hear that's what people say, you know, I want to make sure this doesn't happen to somebody else. And they actually take the steps to make sure that that is what ends up happening. They go to the police. They make sure that there's something on file that you can see that this person has a history. You know what I mean? And if there's been any kind of convictions, if there's been any kind of proof, you know, any kind of substantiation of those claims, there you go. Now you have some kind of record of it that people can look at and see. Appreciate it, Zombie Fox. What's up, Shisno? At the time when Alpha Betas is going to be on Kickstarter, is he trying to ruin it? I possibly, look, that's the thing. You never know. That could be it. It could be it. Kayla says, it's the Catholic way. If you confess your sins, you're good to go out and sin again. They want the want for an apology is BS. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like it's hard for me to wrap my head around that you'd be just okay with somebody saying they're sorry. You know, get some kind of public acknowledgement. Oh, you actually did this, and maybe that's all it is, right? But again, I think that's very misguided. I think that if you really want justice, then go to the authorities. Like I said, make sure that it's on public record. You know what I mean? Because then there's a foundation for the authorities to build off of. Because look, if somebody's really doing bad, and the more and more they're being reported, and the more and more it's looking like there might be something going on there, eventually they have to do something about it. You know what I mean? They're not just going to sit on their hands, especially if there's any kind of proof to substantiate what these people are saying. So, but there's no way to get there. There's no way to get there if nobody goes to the authorities, if nobody takes that initiative to get something put on file. So let me go ahead and share this with y'all here as we wait for more to show up here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the video that Ohm had uploaded some hours back. I'm gonna go over it here because I think there's some interesting things in it, and I'll be pointing those things out as we go through this this video here. So let's just go ahead and get started here, and then whoever ends up joining, we'll pause it, and if anything, we could go back a little bit. I'm going to be going for a little bit longer than I normally do tonight because I'm going to be on with Crow later, and we're going to have a bigger discussion about this. I know Sen streamed earlier about it. I was able to check out his stream for a bit, but then I had to set everything else up here for this one. So and just, can you guys hear that all right? Are you guys able to hear the video? Let me just say that right now. Just make sure that we can hear the video. I'm surprised Ohm still has a channel. You know, he hasn't done anything to violate terms about that, as far as I know. So, I mean, he's, you know, there's no reason for him to lose his channel unless he's doing something that clearly violates TOS. Okay, so it's not, all right, we'll do this. Let me do this. No audio for me? Okay, so we'll fix this. Hold on. There we go. We'll do it like this. Zombie Fox for 20. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. That helps me tremendously. Sin gave some $20. So here you go. The video can be summed up in one word: pain. Plus, can't hear the audio. Okay. Appreciate it. By the way, John, in Ohm's description, he has to say about republishing the video. Huh. Okay, hold on. Let's look at that real quick before we even start the video. Let's see here. So it says here, let's see, references for laws relating to imagery and video of underage persons. He put some links here. There are allegations raised against Jonathan, aka H2O Delirious, by C or Psy. I mean, depending on how you want to pronounce that. In her words, please respect her privacy. This video was uploaded unmonetized, and efforts were taken to avoid monetization down the road. Please do not republish this video in any part without express written permission. This is fair use, so this doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing he can do to me regarding this. This doesn't mean anything because I am not republishing the video in its original format. I'm going to be providing commentary for it. I don't need to, I'm pretty sure he's just doing this to make sure that people don't mirror upload it. This is him basically putting it like, hey, this video's on my channel. Don't mirror upload this without asking for permission. I think that's what he's doing there. So we'll continue on with that. Yeah, I'm not afraid of what he might do because I'm not republishing it in its original form. It's becoming a transformative work right now by virtue of the fact that this is a live stream and I'm already adding commentary. So we'll go ahead and get started here. You guys should be able to hear it now.
All right. So, Sai, you are somebody that has been referenced before, but there's been a lot of confusion about, right? Would you say that's fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to establish some things really quick. Did I reach out to you or did you reach out to me?
I emailed you after I got sent the Keemstar video.
So when you send me an email, your email came in around the same time as, unfortunately, there was somebody that was imitating a victim. But your email that you had sent, was it legitimate? Was it representative of you having
And just for a little context here, for y'all to know what he's referencing, there was somebody that showed how easy it is to fake emails. Obviously, they shouldn't have done that to try to bait Ohm and stuff like that. They did end up baiting him, and it did end up, it's the kind of thing that hurts your credibility when you run with something without looking into it, which he did. He had initially posted it thinking that it was a real email. He did delete it, though, to his credit, and then said that it was a fake email. So, but just to put that out there.
Any sort of experience with H2O Delirious?
Yes.
Okay. So had we met any time before that? Had I ever talked to you in my life before that?
No, I had no idea who you are or were.
Okay. Which is fine. Another thing, too, that I've seen a lot of people get really confused about. There are people that believe that you are this girl that Marcel, or basically I do work, set up or collaborated with to record Delirious having phone sex with a girl that was under 18. Are you that girl?
So he's talking about the one that kind of kicked everything off, this Breland girl, which, by the way, again, just to add a little bit here, the Breland has not come out publicly and said anything, to the best of my knowledge, in regards to her social media that she has out there that people have said that is her social media, like has been confirmed to be her social media, has been pretty much locked down, and she has not said anything publicly about the situation. Okay. Now we do know that Delirious did cop to the fact that yes, he did have, that he did do these things, right? He did have this phone sex interaction with this person, but did not know that they were minors. Says that he had no idea that that's something he found out after the fact. So just to put that out there. See this. Oh, and just real quick, what he's putting here in text, her age was in her Twitter, and she even had a nickname in the group, Jailbait. Now this I don't know about this, because I don't know. This is something that he's saying. And if memory serves correct, in this video, he didn't show anything to validate this. to substantiate this. So this, we got to kind of take it at face value, what he's saying here. He wants us, I guess, to take his word for it that this was actually something. We don't know. We don't know if her age was in the Twitter, because again, he's not showing any proof of that, and we don't know that her nickname in the group was this, right? That it was jailbait. So just putting that out there.
Okay. So, and I know this, but there's been a lot of confusion as to like who you are. So right now we're just referring to.
Okay, so I guess he's referring to just this tweet here. See, but again, let's see. Let me go back here. So I guess he's referring to this tweet from 407. Okay.
But the person that was on that
collaborated so with. That.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Any sort of experience with
that's 407.
That you are this girl that Marcel, as to like who you are. So right now we're just referring to as Sai. But the person that was
what I think he doesn't have is actually her age in her Twitter bio, or maybe he does. Let's see.
On that call, she went by Brie Allen.
Okay, so all that says here, right? This is, I think, her Instagram, which I believe is also on lockdown. It said her high school. Didn't say her age, and this might be from the time, right? Where I guess we're led to assume that this is from the time she was. They're obviously blurring out the high school that she goes to, I think, because I don't think an age takes about that much. But he was saying, hold on, let me go back and make sure. Because when I listened to this before, I was kind of glancing at it and also hearing it. Hold on, because I think he said it was in her Twitter bio.
Are you?
So her nickname on Twitter was that, and she even had a nickname of the group. Let me see. Okay, her age was in her Twitter. Yeah, so he's showing her Instagram. Maybe he's going to show her Twitter.
Yes. What did
Let me go back.
With a girl that was under 18? Are you that girl?
No.
Okay. So, and I know this, but there's been a lot of confusion as to like who you are. So right now we're just referring to as Sai. But the person that was on that call, she went by Brie Allen. You are not.
He has one instance. What Peter McNeil says here, jailbait isn't a nickname, though. It's not. But the thing is, I guess for him, see, that's one instance of somebody calling her jailbait. But I would think that if that was her nickname, that's something that more than one person is calling her. Maybe she would have, changed her profile to reflect that if that was her nickname.
That's Brie Allen.
But you're going to have chats of them saying it over and over again, right? So, he's showing these are DMs that he had shared with Keemstar. They're saying this about Delirious, but I'm hoping to see if he has anything else that shows where they're calling her jailbait.
With that established, tell me this. What did you know about that call? So just to get this out of the way too, were you
showing these awfully quick? Hold on. Let me pause some of these. Strong with friends. Oh, you mean making balloon ants for kids? Okay. So they're all joking about stuff like this.
At the time that this call happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so we only have one instance where one person called her jailbait.
Okay. And what did you know about that call? Like, what was your experience about it? Did you know Brie Allen, or, what was going on with like you and Delirious at the time?
These are all like these. A lot of these are tweets that he had shared with Keemstar, which I think we had already gone over. Rogue for 5, thank you. I appreciate it. Ohm is the epitome of that joke from SpongeBob. How many times do you have to teach? Do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? He just won't take the L and shut up. So let's go over this. Okay, so I'm only saying one instance where she was called jailbait. I mean, I think that's hardly a nickname if only one person called her that. I mean, I don't see Wildcat or Delirious or anybody else. Maybe he's going to share that. Maybe there's
her.
Let's see.
I didn't know her.
And again, he hasn't shown her Twitter profile that showed her age at that time. He showed presumably what her Instagram looked like at the time, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he still does, but at that time, and it showed a blurred out high school. So I guess we're just supposed to assume age based on the fact that she was at high school. She was in high school, which, again, we already know that Delirious himself said, yeah, she was underage, but I didn't know that. So I guess
all I know
is that's the validation. But
guys were going to set it up to catch Delirious out with an underage girl, and they were talking about posting it, but ultimately decided not to for some reason.
So they were gonna publish a video on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
well, I mean, the reason why they didn't decide to post it, I think, is pretty obvious, right? They recorded a video. They recorded a video of Delirious doing something, well, number one, illegal that they were complicit in, on top of the fact that they didn't get his consent, right? And them posting it, that's a whole another legal can of worms, you know what I mean, that they'd have to go through by posting it publicly. So, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious why they didn't.
Did you ever hear anything about this being like a prank or hazing or anything like that?
Nothing of the sort.
How did you learn about this? Did you learn about it just by watching Twitter, or was there, like, did Delirious tell you about it? How did you learn about that?
I found it.
See, it's interesting because this is something Omi said in the past before, right? About, you know, this is not a prank or hazing, but the thing is, honestly, you know, a prank can be something that is malicious. So I think it's weird.
So very quick from Delirious
that he thinks, because he has said before himself that he thinks that minimizes it. It actually wouldn't minimize it. A crime would still be a crime. You could do it. You could still prank someone and it be a crime, right? Because especially if there's malicious intent behind it. So I think it's kind of weird that
when it happened,
he's just like he tries to say, "Oh, it wasn't a prank." It's just
because he was, you know, obviously very upset that his friends would do something like that to him.
Mm-hmm.
He cried about it. He was really upset.
You're saying like literally crying?
Yeah, he was upset.
So these are all, we know that these are all like, again, these are all tweets that sent Keemstar in that folder he has, right? So we
you know, it's a big deal. It could have ruined his career.
Right.
He knew that. He was very aware of what it could do. But,
well, and you said they were going to post the video, right? So
I was
him.
Just going to say,
yeah.
I don't know why they didn't post it in the end, but it's probably still in.
They didn't post it in the end because it's illegal. They couldn't post it without getting into some legal hot water themselves.
Possession of someone.
Mm-hmm. Tell me this then: when you were talking with Delirious at that time, were you of age? Were you over 18 years old?
No.
And what was your relationship with Delirious at that time?
You know, we would do things, you know, like over Skype.
Do things like play video games, or like what sort of? Like
phone sex.
So essentially you're saying that he was crying on the phone with you about getting caught doing this with an underage girl. And at that time, you were underage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's one thing I will say about this right here, okay? Unless Delirious is absolutely mental, unless he's an absolute moron, okay? Which he could be. He could very well be. He could be that dumb for all I know. This sounds kind of odd to me, right? So he got busted, didn't know the age of the girl, tells this girl, I didn't know her age, they set me up, knows that this girl is also underage, and does the same thing, decides to have phone sex with her too, knowing that she's a minor. That seems a little odd to me. Again, maybe Delirious is that dumb, right? For all we know. I don't know the guy personally. You know what I mean? So I can't speak to whether or not, you know, his intelligence. I mean, in a lot of cases, as we've seen with the Van Os crew, he's usually looked at as kind of the butt of a lot of the jokes. He seems like the lovable dummy of the group. Maybe he is. Maybe he's absolutely a dummy. Maybe not. I don't know. This just sounds odd. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I can't say that he did or didn't do this thing, but I would think that when you hear something like that, it definitely is like, huh? It's like, would you really, like, after being busted, doing something like that, then go ahead and then do it with somebody else actually knowing that they're a minor, it seems a little weird. And again, it's not to say that it's not possible. It certainly is possible. But he could be a really dumb guy, right? He's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing with you now. Totally possible. But it does sound kind of odd, right? Hearing that. But hey, stranger things have happened. But let's continue on here.
Which is, okay, I'll save commentary on that. But now, when you say phone sex, was there anything happening? Was it just like strictly calls, or was there any sort of imagery, like, photos being exchanged, or even video or anything like that?
A lot of it was, Skype call, so streaming via video, and he would never turn his camera on.
Okay, we know that. We know that
he would request certain things, like toys and stuff. And toys. I vividly remember telling him, I'm under 18, so like shops here, you can't go into the sex shop here unless you're over 18. And I told him, I'm under 18, so I can't. That vividly sticks out because he was disappointed that I couldn't get like a little sex toy or something.
So when you
let's see, so it says here, she also has text from the time stating her age to Delirious during this. Due to doxing threat concerns, it will not be shown at this time. More on that later. Maybe that's true. Maybe she does. We have the claim here from Ohm. Maybe she does. Maybe she does have that evidence, right? Here's the problem, right? He says, due to doxing threat concerns, it will not be shown at this time. More on that later. Why not just redact her username or any information that could reveal who she is? I think this would be the opportune time to do it, right? She just mentioned it, okay? You've seen it, or so you claim, right? You've seen it. Why not redact her information? You know what I mean? Why not just redact it? So I think it's, again, a little odd. And again, not to say maybe she does have the evidence. You know what I mean? But we're forced into another situation here with an allegation where we have to take their word for it. You know what I mean? And again, she could very well have it. She could very well have it. She could end up showing it. And I do believe that Ohm has said that he's going to do follow-up videos on this, so maybe he'll show it in the next video. I don't know. But he could have just as easily redacted it, saved himself a lot of time, redacted it, and shown it. Because again, look, if there is some text or some kind of acknowledgement that could be verified to be true, that puts Delirious in some hot water, some serious hot water, right? It puts him in a bad situation. This whole thing of just trying to build up and say that you have this stuff, I say, look, just show it now. I mean, unless you're doing something behind the scenes, taking some kind of legal action, which again, that's something else we will talk about here because there's some interesting things that are said in this call that I want to address regarding some of the ways this is supposedly being handled behind the scenes. We'll get to that though.
Told him that, did he immediately say, oh my God, I can't talk to you anymore? Or did he continue this relationship?
Oh no, it was continued. It didn't stop.
Okay. So when this would continue, without getting graphic, the video that you would show him, or that like he would ask you to do things you had said, right?
Yep.
Were these involved? Was this involving nudity of you being sent to him?
Yes.
So he was would you say he was encouraging it? Like, was he doing something with himself? Like, was there anything going on at the time, or was he just watching? Like, what was happening with him?
He was also like joining in, so he'd join in.
So he
I don't know if
participated.
he saved videos or anything or what for future use, but he would join in on Skype, but his camera would always be off.
Okay, so he could only see what you were doing.
Yeah, he would never turn his own camera on ever.
But did you know that, like, are you sure that he was doing something? Like, would he tell you? Would he express like that he was doing something to him? Like,
yes, he would. He'd say what he was doing. and he could moan. So
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to get into like all the details, but what you're saying is that there was video being sent from you to him for things that he was looking for. It was sexual in nature while you were underage.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like about the way this interview is going, I will say, is that I feel like he's coaching her into some answers. So it does sound like they might have rehearsed some of this beforehand. Again, that's speculation. Obviously, that's just pure speculation. It's just the way some of these questions are being asked, and they're being led to her to simply answer yes or no instead of having her give the specifics herself. He's providing all the specifics, and then she's either saying, she's the one that's agreeing to it, right? Saying yes and this, that, or the other. I think when it comes to stuff like this, it's best to just ask questions, let the person who is making the allegations, who is accusing, let them get into the details. You know what I mean? Instead of you trying to provide them and then saying, do you agree with that? Or yes, no, yes, no, or things like that. Because then it comes, at least, like I said, it comes across to me like you're coaching her through this. But again, that's just my observation on it. Could be completely wrong, right? Could be completely wrong. Maybe she doesn't know how to properly articulate this stuff. I don't know. You know what I mean? But let's continue on here.
Yep.
And just to be clear, was this a one-time thing, or would you say this went on for a duration of time?
It went on for a while. It wasn't a one-time thing, no.
Are we talking a few days, a few weeks, a few months?
See this right here. Are we talking a few days, a few weeks, a few months? Let the person get into the specifics of how long that was, right? Don't provide this like buffet of options for them, because I think, again, that to me, like I said, it's just my opinion. That to me comes across a little bit like coaching, like you're coaching them through this. You know what I mean? If this person knows how long, they're gonna look. If this affected this person as bad as they say, it's their story to tell. Then I think that they can provide all the details, right? So maybe this person is just not a very good, or maybe they're just not a very eloquent speaker. Maybe they're just not very articulate. It's possible, and maybe, but it sounds like there was some pre-planning here, and it also sounds like there's some coaching here. Just my opinion. Like I said, we'd be completely wrong about that, but it's just the way it comes across.
Months.
And in those months, when you say it went on, are you saying that this included video calls, like you had mentioned, with sexual activity and Delirious doing things to himself?
See, again, this is what I don't like. You're giving her the options to add into the story, right? Instead of just letting her tell the story and letting her get into the specifics of what was actually shared. You know what I mean? Because if there was nudes, right? Nudes, videos, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She'd be able to fire it right off. Oh, he sent me videos. He sent me, I sent him videos, nudes were exchanged. He had me do this. He had me do this. He had me do that. You know what I mean? So it's just the way it's.
At the time that this stuff was going on, I know you've said that you were underage, but did you have any sort of relationship with anyone else in the group?
Yeah, I was friends with a couple of others. I talked to Marcel quite a lot. I talked to Scott quite a bit. My friends were involved.
To be clear, we're talking about 407 and Basically I Do Work.
Yes. There was videos of, them playing with my friends before the channels were deleted.
So I guess fast forward to today. At some point, like, did you and Delirious ever get into any fights or anything like that, or any clashes, or did you just kind of drift apart? Like, at what point, like, did you guys kind of lose touch?
We just stopped talking.
Just kind of.
That was it.
Okay. So when this came up, like, had you ever thought about bringing this up over time? Like, at any points in your life, did you think about what had happened and like reflect on it, or like start to
I thought about it a lot. It's not something that you just forget happened. He was always suggested in my YouTube because, you know, he grew with popularity. And being in the UK, it was like, I didn't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of felt stuck. So I just left it.
I mean, did you feel that it was okay, like for him to do when, you know, I mean, obviously this started when you said you were under 18.
At the time, it seems okay because, you know, he was someone I was close to, or I would say I was close to. He was growing in popularity and all that kind of thing. So it was pretty cool to be talking to someone like him. And
so you looked up to him, you would say, like as a YouTuber?
Yeah, I still look up to quite a few of them. I think, you know, it's nice to see where some of the people that I used to play with 10 years ago have ended up.
Yeah. So at that time, though, like talking to Delirious, it was, would you say it was different than talking to some random guy that you met in a lobby?
Yeah.
You looked up to Delirious.
You know, he was someone to admire, you know, like
he was growing on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it was nice
because he's the popular guy.
Nice to see them growing and like be friends with them and be able to like celebrate even like really small achievements.
Yeah.
Seemed like big ones, and it was just the atmosphere when that happened was great. Everyone was so happy. You just felt it was really nice.
Now, in hindsight, I mean, would you feel
it's interesting? She's mentioned him growing in her popularity, and it's very nice. And it's just like seems like she want, you know, it seems like a little bit of I don't know. Well, I'll reserve my comment, right?
That he had taken advantage of like his position as a YouTuber at all? You know, was it like, you know, there's that term grooming and stuff like that. Do you feel in hindsight that you were groomed by Delirious?
See, again, you know, bringing something else up, right, that she might have not mentioned herself. Grooming. Do you think you were groomed? And it's like, you know, if she says something like that, right, on her own of when she was underage, and she doesn't know the definition of that, and then he says, oh, you mean he groomed you? I think that's different, right, than putting it out there first. Because there's a lot of people that don't necessarily know the proper definition of that. You know what I mean? And it's something that gets thrown around online a lot, right? So, again, it feels like, you know, coaching her to an answer.
I would say so. I mean, I was a young girl with, like, a Twitter account who, you know, really enjoyed watching these guys' videos and all of that. And it took growing up a bit and, you know.
Wait, hold on. What did she say there?
Say so. I mean, I was a young girl with like a Twitter account who, you know, really enjoyed watching these guys' videos and
you know, really enjoyed watching
all of that. And it took growing up a bit and, you know, being around the kids to kind of make me realize it's not okay.
Being around the kids.
Well, because at that time, I mean, Delirious, if my math is correct, he was about 23 or 24 years old.
Yeah.
So as you were growing up, so you said to be around, did you say kids? That before
I just said I was, you know, being around the kids and stuff, it makes you realize if something like that was happening to them. It's hard to explain. I kind of just, as I grew up, I realized what he did is really not okay. But being in the UK, it's kind of difficult to know where to start.
Yeah.
When you say where to start, you mean like in
it's kind of weird,
of...
right? I'm wondering what she means by the kids. I mean, is she like a school teacher or something? I mean, is she talking about younger brothers, you know, sisters? I mean, younger siblings? I mean, I'm not. It just sounds odd.
Like reporting it or something like that? Or
Yeah.
Okay. So before you would reach out to me, did you attempt to confront Delirious or anything like that?
I sent in an email, hoping to even just get a sorry and a simple apology.
Okay.
It would have been nice.
Okay, so again, this is something that I mentioned a little bit earlier, and this is one of the problems that I have with people that come out with these allegations. And again, I'm not saying she's telling that she's lying. I'm not saying that she's telling the truth. I don't know, right? Can't say anything with 100% certainty. And again, Ohm claims, and it's towards the end of this video, he claims he's going to be putting out more stuff. Maybe he's going to put out something with, something that's actually evidence. But again, if you're a person that was traumatized, or you feel an injustice was done to you, that you were victimized in some way, and you care about, after what she just said, right? After whatever with the kids, like I said, let's just assume she's like some kind of school teacher or some kind of nursery, nursery care person, maybe a nanny or something like that, right? I would think that, again, you see what you went through, you don't like what you went through, you realized maybe after the fact that it was abusive. Why wouldn't you want this guy to go away? Why is it that just an apology would get him off the hook? Because who knows how many countless others have gone through what you presumably went through, right? Or worse. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want that guy in a jail cell, or have him get into some legal hot water to ensure that he never does this to anybody else? Why does just an apology make it okay? Because again, an apology is not going to stop him from doing whatever he's doing if he's this monster, right? That she alleges him to be, right? Or others have alleged him to be, right? That's not going to stop him. An apology is not going to stop him. I mean, it might, if he says it, I guess publicly, obviously it would hurt his brand, and it would hurt his bottom line. He might lose subscribers, might lose a lot of sponsorships, maybe even more than that, right? But again, I that doesn't really stop him from potentially abusing anybody else, though. You know what I mean? Maybe in the online space to a limited capacity, but not absolutely. You know what I mean? So I just find it odd that people, these people that make these accusations, they just want a public acknowledgement of it, I guess, just to show that they were right in some way. And also to, like I said, maybe just publicly shame them, whatever. But it's just like, if you care about like other potential victims, like I said, just make sure it gets on a public record somewhere. I think, because then, the ramifications for what he does are going to be much more severe. But I don't know. That's.
I didn't want anything else.
She didn't want anything else. She just wanted an apology. So let's read this email, right? You know what? I guess this is the subject line. Hi, Jonathan. That's Delirious's name. You might remember me. You might not. I've been watching the accusations, and in parentheses, she puts truth about you and Marcel. Gave you my contact details. At least he said he would. She's saying that she gave Marcel, I should say, not Marcel, Marcel, the contact details. I know this is all true because you did it to me. Remember, all I want is an effing apology. Stop pretending like you're the victim. You are not a victim. I guess signs her name there. The young girl from the UK you abused over Skype. Okay.
I've said that. I said that to him. I've said that to you. I still stand by that.
Delirious is from South Carolina. Did you ask
anybody else to help?
He's actually from South Carolina.
An apology?
Yes. I asked Marcel to contact him, and he did, as far as I...
So here's the DMs between her and Marcel. And again, look, you see that it looks like Ohm had redacted, her pictures in this or whatever, or anything that shows that, her information. Like I said, if she has something that shows her telling Delirious her age earlier, I mean, that'd be super, super damning. There's no way he's going to get out of that. But again, maybe he's saving that for the next video. I don't know. But here's basically saying, start the healing process. I'll do what I can. You see, it seems like something's cut off here. Obviously, it looks like they've been talking for a bit. So I'd really like to know what the full context of what they might have potentially been talking about here is. But you're really okay, Marcel. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, and that will never be my intention. Also, I haven't watched the video and don't plan on it. I contacted you again with an open mind, and I want to keep it that way if you're okay with that too. So this is, I guess this is Sai or C, talking right here. I appreciate that a lot. I know it's not an excuse, but we were all very young and stupid. We did a lot of cringy shit. Just know that I hope that everything is amazing for you, and I'm very sorry. And you want me to reach out to John and ask him? I'll do that right now. So this is Marcel speaking now. Let's continue on.
I'm aware twice.
So
and I've
Marcel,
still heard nothing.
While this has been happening, Marcel has been talking to you about it.
He did ask Delirious, yeah. And
so, just to make it clear though, too, I don't know when Ohm recorded this interview. This could have been weeks ago. This could have been months ago. This could have been a couple days ago. This could have been yesterday. This could have been the day before. There's no timestamps on these messages, so I don't know when any of this took place. This person said, I've been talking to him up to recently. All right, recently as in back when this was recorded, or was this recorded recently? So then we have another one here. My tweet last night, hard, little to no support. It's like a repeat of my IRL one, but with thousands of people giving their opinion, saying I'm a liar, not just my mama this time. So this is her saying this. Honestly, I mean, again, people, that's part of the risk involved when you decide to take it online instead of going to the authorities first. You know what I mean? There's always going to be people that are going to scrutinize every little thing that's said. Then you have Marcel saying, can I give my opinion? And she says, if you want to, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way whatsoever. And then she says, my cake is shit too. I hate it. And this is Marcel, by going through Ohm, it puts you in a super awkward situation with the internet not being on his side already. I know that you want an apology. Again, I don't know what an apology is going to do in the grander scheme of things. Like I said, of course, if you apologize from it, that's basically to the internet, that would be an acknowledgement of guilt, because that they always take it as that, even if he doesn't specifically say he's guilty of that, but just him apologizing for it will be, I should say, an admission of guilt. So I don't think that that's ever going to happen, because like I said, look, for all we know, maybe all this stuff did happen, right? Maybe all this is 100% true, but we don't have anything that I would consider to be, at least so far, and what we're seeing here, a smoking gun. And obviously something with her showing that, again, that could be verified, of her telling him her age and him still having like sexually charged conversations with her would go a much longer way. In the case of, if y'all remember the pyrocynical thing with the girl, Lou, the girl that basically had gone to Keemstar to have that interview, and she was really trying to out this guy named Ancient Reality as her abuser. She was a little bit all over the place, but at least she had like pictures, you know what I mean? She had something to show for something. So far, we have these messages between her and basically, Ohm says he doesn't want to show the messages that basically would confirm, not this basically, but, that would confirm the girl's story of her saying that, I was underage when we did these things. I think you could have redacted them and shown them, but look, maybe there's another capacity that's going to show him in. I don't know. I've
heard nothing. He has my contact details.
So with Marcel, when you talk to him, what was this through? Like, how are you communicating with him?
Instagram.
Okay,
Instagram,
so like privately?
Oh, yeah.
So we have this one that says, you are supported. It's best not to engage with the trolls, though. Probably not. I gave whatever I needed to, including my age and whatnot. Ohm wants to talk to me, but I'm crying and not okay. I don't know what to do. Maybe take a bit. Then she says, I have stuff to do. I promise that engaging with the negative trolls will only make you feel worse and invalidated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while you were talking with him privately, so you're saying that Marcel was aware that there was a situation going on with Delirious, and that you were looking for an apology. He had reached.
Okay. All right, I'll get into what that says, what he's saying here now to her in a moment. More sleeps, all the sleeps, LOL, tired. Marcel, would you say it's okay for me to delete that Twitter account? Look at this. I'm very worried. One of several people that attempted to dox Sayashi came forward. Looks as though this person's same date, birth location. I mean, and that's what stuff if that happened, right? Somebody tried to dox her. Should never go that far. But let's continue on with what he's saying here.
He tried to help, just get what I wanted. He said if he can do anything, let him, like, just to let him know.
And you would ask for an apology.
That is the only thing. Yeah.
Again, so Marcel, I mean, you would say that he's aware that you exist. I mean, he knew you way back when. He knows you today. Mm-hmm. He's been talking to you privately. He's tried to help you with getting in touch with Delirious. But at the same time, he's also, been quiet as others in the group have been vocal, right?
I think he's being quiet, but it would be nice to have some more help.
I mean, do you think that basically I Do Work could have, Marcel, do you think that he could have helped in some way, as there was, all this social media backlash happening where others were trying to act like this was fake and act like nothing happened, that it was like some sort of vendetta or, something like that? I mean, do you think Marcel could have done something to stop the lies and harassment?
Maybe. He did tweet and say that he does know me. So
yeah, I saw that it was in a reply, right? But it
okay, so here's the tweet. She reached out to ask if I could pass on a message. As a friend, I offered sympathy in my hope that she could heal. She was homey and later on ended up dating a good friend of mine, period. I want no part of Ohm's drama. Okay?
Wasn't really seen by anybody. He didn't even want to mention you by name, and he actually called your situation Ohm's drama.
Yeah, that was...
See, I think this is a little bit disingenuous on Ohm's part here, right? Because the reason he might have not mentioned her name was because of the fact that people were threatening to dox her or harass her, right? So, I think it's a little bit, yeah, it's buried in something, but he probably didn't want to draw attention to her, because if she says that she was being threatened with a dox, right, maybe he was just trying to make sure that, he wouldn't bring any attention to her so that kind of harassment would continue. But again, maybe not. Maybe there was a more nefarious plan at work there. I don't know. Don't know Marcel either. Can't speak for him. I'm just simply looking at a different perspective here, just a different point of view.
Something, wasn't it?
Is that my specific drama, or is that your experience that you were trying to get help with?
It's not drama.
What's up, Great Smunkin?
No.
Because it's real to you, right?
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, so we said here, instead, both watched as my character was assassinated, that this was made out to be a petty, vindictive-driven lie. All the while, their friend was completely invalidated, and even Doc summed up as a fabrication and nothing more. All right, I don't appreciate Ohm doing this, right? Because this is, first off, he's injecting himself into this, making it about himself. And the thing is, look, what Ohm needs to realize, and I don't think he's stepping outside of himself at this moment when he put this up, right? He's trying to make it, your friend was getting destroyed, and you guys let my character be assassinated. Look, a lot of that, Ohm did it to himself. Let's be completely clear on that. A lot of that Ohm did to himself with who he decided to collaborate with on trying to do whatever it is he was trying to do. Maybe somewhere deep down inside, Ohm wants to be this bastion of virtue and justice. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he is trying to look out for people. The problem is the way he's gone about handling things is the worst possible way you could handle them, in my opinion. Taking a social media, using, making claims on others' behalf, not really showing a whole lot to validate those claims, not showing anything with any type of true substantiation. And again, when you see things, let's go back to him teaming up with Louis' accusers, right? Cyan and that group. You know, you have those chat logs where you see one of the girls in that group straight up saying, oh, we're going to get this group. We're going to bring them down, basically, you know, talking about, you know, the group that everybody loves. At no point do you see Ohm disavowing that and him saying, hey, listen, this isn't about getting revenge. This is about doing what's right. Because even if that's just for show, right? If he were to just respond to that and that was just for show, you know, he's not decrying it. You know, he's not telling them, you know, he's not scolding them and telling them, oh, look, hey, shouldn't talk like that. Anything. He's just there, right? He seemed to be okay with this idea, or at least, again, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he just wasn't around to see those chats. But I would hope that he would be like, hey, look, this is not about just getting petty revenge against Louis. This is about doing the right thing. And again, that could end up being a lie because, as we've seen, he's tended to do that before, where he makes it seem like, you know, I'm trying to do the right thing here, but then he does some stuff. His actions speak counter to that, to what he's actually saying. But at the very least, look, even if it's bullshit, you know, it would at least be. And again, I think he's been a lot more consistent with certain things, you know, in terms of wanting to look out with people. That seems to have always been his argument. But some of his actions don't really speak to that. His actions are a little bit inconsistent with some of the things he said. But this, to me, like I said, the fact that he's bringing this up is just like, again, look, if this is not, like, this isn't about you, bro. This is about this girl. If you're really trying to make this about this girl, you know, make it about this girl. You know what I mean? Because the whole character assassination, like I said, you kind of did it with yourself because, you know, look, how does the saying go? You know, you lie with dogs, you end up getting fleas. I mean, it's a little self-inflicted, man.
Very real. It's just being mixed in now with all the other stuff,
Right.
which doesn't help the situation at all.
So with that in mind, have you seen me lie about you or exaggerate anything about you at all on social media?
No.
So anything that I've shared, would you say it's representative of like what you or even like anybody else that's reached out to me has shared?
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel forced to talk to you about anything.
Well, let's start with that. Have I ever made you feel pressured in any way?
Not at all.
Have I been like threatening or like have you ever felt like I was trying to use you in some way?
No.
Now, the reason he's saying this, we know why he's saying this, right? He's saying this because if you remember, when the whole situation blew up with Cyan's group, right? Remember, they threw him under the bus saying, oh, you used this to further your agenda of trying to get revenge on these other guys. But the truth of the matter is, look, they weren't angels in that situation either, okay? That was a mutually beneficial relationship for both those parties because they didn't care who would end up being collateral damage. As long as somebody paid the price for what happened, they didn't care who it was. They didn't care if it was going to be Louis. They didn't care if it was going to be Delirious. They didn't care if it was going to be anybody else in that group by extension, as long as somebody paid the price, you know, and they completely threw Ohm under the bus, making it seem like it was all him. He was the one, he was the master manipulator. He was the one using us. He was the one pulling all the strings. Not true. Not true. You have two parties, right, that saw a situation that was mutually beneficial. They're both to blame in the situation. So obviously he's saying this here because of that whole situation and how that blew up in his face. Because remember, they leaked DMs to show, oh, listen, you know, we never wanted it on Drama Alert, right? But then he released DMs, the Crow, showing that, hey, you know, if we say that, people are going to think I'm lying for you guys. You know, I can't lie for y'all. You know what I mean? And showing more context, you know what I mean? Although, at the end of the day, one could argue a lot of those messages are out of context, but there's enough there to show intent. And the intent was expose this person, and if anybody else gets caught up, you know, that seems to be a win. You know what I mean? And not so many words, but again, nobody was against it. Nobody was against it when it was brought up. So That's what that's all about.
You see me as the type of person that would have brought this up as part of a vendetta?
No, I reached out to you. I mean, that's how our relationship began.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know who you were, and you didn't know who I was. I mean, based off what you said earlier. So
no, I had to prove I was who I was, who I was saying I am to you, even.
Right.
Because I could have been anyone.
So with that in mind, I do want to highlight one thing. So when we first talked, I was very well. Tell me this: what was your impression of me when we first talked? When I first responded to you, did I seem like I instantly believed you, or did I seem a different way?
You were pretty hesitant. We had to talk a lot and go over quite a few things. And
I mean, what I'm getting towards is, I made a tweet about a fake email, and to clarify, there was a guy that did make an attempt to trick me with a fake email.
Yeah, this guy, this is the Bulldog Ross guy. He's the one that did the whole fake email. Shouldn't have done this, right? Because this kind of, this can mess things up. But I get the point of what Bulldog Ross was trying to do, but you still shouldn't do stuff like this. Because again, look, eventually, anybody making stuff up, they're going to end up getting caught one way or another. They're going to end up getting exposed. Don't muddy the waters even more by doing stuff like this. But I get the point of what he was trying to do. Was trying to show look, stuff can easily be faked. Point taken, and most people know that, but don't muddy the waters more by doing stuff like this. Never.
But at the same time, there was another email that I got that was very concerning. Based off of our conversation, do you remember what that email involved?
It was someone using my name, and
so here we go. 8 years ago, I received a DM from Delirious. So you see this person just regurgitating the message, right? So this was, I think, the Bulldog Ross guy doing this stuff.
An email almost identical to mine to contact you and say they're me and I'm a liar.
So yeah, what it had implied was that it acted like it was you, and then it said, "Oh, this is fake." It was acting like it was a fake email. So to back up what you had said, this email came in shortly after your email came in to me, right? So you had emailed Jonathan, and then you had emailed me. Is that right? I was after Jonathan.
Okay, so let's see here. This one says, for obvious reasons, I don't want to tweet this, but I'm not a victim of this. This was before he ever got a girlfriend and had a kid. I was a huge fan and he followed me on Twitter one day, which I thought at the time was cool. Then it just went from there. Everything was always sexual with him, no matter what. And he knew that I was underage. One time he suggested buying myself a Viagra and taking my own virginity because he had asked about this kind of thing before. The only reason I never said anything was the proof was all on Skype, and without proof, no one believes you. It was 9-10 years ago now, meaning I would have been 16 at the oldest. He randomly stopped talking to me one day, and then it was never heard from him again. Please don't post this with my details. This is my personal email, and after so long, I didn't expect it to finally be brought up. Thank you.
I think so.
Okay.
So I think this was the actual email that she sent, and I guess the last two digits on the Bulldog Ross email had the last two digits changed, and that's what kind of fooled Ohm for a moment.
So
but that begs the question, right? Because there's something that she says here that I want you all to listen to. Let's see if you can catch where I'm going to go with this.
Emailed me. I got an email shortly after that, as you said, had your full name spelled exactly how you spell it.
Yep, and it's not a common name.
Right. And the email account was nearly identical. It was one digit off in terms of the account name at a different provider.
Yeah, and a different email provider right there. So
that
unfortunately, it was the numbers at the end that were off.
Right. It was one number. One number was off. When I had tweeted about a fake email, I wasn't talking about this guy that was that much of a jerk to try to imitate a victim. What I was referencing as a fake email was this email that had your information identical and tried to make it seem like you were fake. Now, Do you have any theories as to how anybody could have emailed me shortly after you emailed Delirious and I with your full name and an account email that was one digit off, trying to act like it was fake? Do you have any theories as to where that could have come from?
Now, this is interesting, right?
Well, I think there's only one person it could have come from, if it wasn't you.
Who do you think it would be?
Delirious. There's only 2 people I emailed off my personal email account.
Spelled exactly.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, what Nightwing here is saying is true. Yeah, the Bulldog Ross email was different. I think it was a completely different address. But getting to this part here, right? This is the fake, right? The Gmail.
Yeah, and it's not a common name.
Emailed me. Email was this email that had your information identical and tried to make it seem like you were fake. Now, do you have any theories as to how anybody could have emailed me shortly after you emailed Delirious and I with your full name and an account email that was one digit off, trying to act like it was fake? Do you have any theories as to where that could have come from?
Well, I think there's only one person it could have come from, if it wasn't you.
Who do you think it would be?
Delirious. There's only 2 people I emailed off my personal email account. In hindsight, not the best decision to make, but I did it. I emailed you.
So just to clarify, yeah, the Bulldog Ross email was different, but the reason what I was saying beforehand, why, bringing that up is why that muddies the water is because of this, right? Leading over to this. Now, she claims that the only other person that could have known, the full name plus the 2 numbers at the, kind of switching out the 2 numbers at the end. She claims that she only emailed Ohm, and she emailed Delirious. So Ohm claims, well, I didn't do it. So she's saying that, well, then it must have been Delirious because that's the only other person I emailed. That could be true. For all we know, that could be true. Maybe, Delirious could have done that, unless Ohm is playing some kind of 4D chess where he wants to make it seem that way, right? That somebody else is spoofing an email. You know what I mean? I don't think that Ohm would do that. Surprisingly, I don't see how that would help Ohm in this case. Just to give Ohm the benefit of the doubt, I don't see how that would help Ohm's case by himself, taking and making a fake email and then emailing himself with it. I don't see how that would help anything. But you never know. I mean, it's within the realm of possibility. Is it within the realm of possibility that if the only other person that she emailed was Delirious, that he might have done it? Absolutely. It's certainly within the realm of possibility that that Delirious could have done that. The possibility does exist. Or, what she's saying here, Wiley emailed you 2 guys. We got to look at that too. That's what she claims. Ali emailed you 2 guys from this personal email. Is that true though? How do we know that to be true? How do we know that she didn't send a copy of that email to somebody else? You know what I mean? Or maybe somebody that knows her, that is a mutual, right? That might have played with this group back in the day, knew what she was doing and decided to do that. That's the thing. The problem with what Bulldog Ross did, right, earlier, let's just say that, she suspects that there's only 2 people I sent it to, and it could have only been one of those 2 people. Of course, Ohm is going to say he didn't do it. But the problem with what Bulldog Ross did in this situation, even if the emails don't look similar, it leaves that room for doubt. It leaves the ability for people to point at other fake emails being sent and say, well, how do you know that it wasn't just somebody else? I mean, she's saying that it was just, let's say like I'm Delirious, right? She's saying that it's only me and Ohm that she sent these to, right? But how can we be certain that that's true? You know what I mean? Now, let's just say, what if Delirious did send it, right? Again, now all that is messed up because it leaves room for doubt. You know what I mean? Because of stuff like that, because of other people making up emails, fake email addresses. You know what I mean? Even if they don't look similar, right? If this is a person that there's no way they could have known the full name, you would have to assume it's probably somebody close to her, unless, what if it's her? What if it's her? There's so many possibilities with this here. And again, this is where it gets a little bit like, we don't know. We don't know if, this is, we have to kind of take her word for it here, right? That she's telling the truth, which again, I don't take people's words for it. I just show some receipts, right? You're saying that you only emailed Delirious and Ohm. What I would ask is, are you certain? Is there any way that you can prove that? But here's the other problem, though, with that. If you ask for somebody to proof of that, it's easy for them to show their sent folder and delete the sent messages as well. So again, we may never know for sure. She could just be saying that, and we're expected to take her at her word for that. And look, she could be telling the truth. Could be telling the truth. You know what I mean? Maybe she only did message Ohm and Delirious. You know what I mean? But there's so many ways. There's so many ways, like I said, to cover your tracks there. And, you don't have a situation that really helps when you have other people sending fake emails. That kind of muddies the waters. Even, like I said, even if they're not similar to the email, right? Because this one was very specific. It muddies the waters, and it gives the opportunity for anybody else, right? Like it gives Delirious the opportunity to just say, well, look, how do you know it wasn't somebody else? She's saying that. She's saying that she only emailed me and Ohm. Maybe Ohm could have sent that email. It gives him the opportunity to say the same thing, because nobody's going to cop to the fact that they wrote a fake email. You know what I mean? Neither one of them would cop to the fact that they wrote a fake email. You know what I mean? Just like she's not going to cop to the fact that she might have sent it to more than just two people. Like I said, maybe she did. Maybe it was just these two people. Like I said, there's no way to know. There's no way to know for sure.
You and Delirious, they were the only two.
Well, I can tell you that it wasn't me.
Of course he's going to say it wasn't him. And again, maybe it wasn't. Because honestly, look, this is one thing where I will say, look, I don't see how it would help Ohm doing that. I will give him the benefit of the doubt, despite him having serious, credibility issues himself. I will give him the benefit of the doubt that just looking at it, trying to look at it logically here, I don't see how that would benefit him, but it's not outside the realm of possibility either. But, for the sake of argument, I'll say, yeah, I don't see how that would help him. You know what I mean? So, and I also don't see how it would help her either to fake an email, making a different email account and then, essentially destroying her own credibility and her own story. Like this, that doesn't make any sense either that she would do that. But again, you don't know. Could it be could it be that she sent these emails to somebody else and they decided, oh, well, that was as good a time as any to turn on her. I don't know. So is it possible that Delirious could have faked that email? It's absolutely possible. And it's also possible that somebody else close to her could have faked it if she sent it to more than one person. But that's presuming, again, that she sent it to more than one person, which we don't know. We just don't know.
Obviously, I wouldn't have emailed myself for pretending to be you, right? Because that wouldn't make sense.
And
I
don't see how that
received
would
this
help.
email.
And just like I don't think it would help
that
do this.
almost worked because it took me a little bit, because that one guy who faked a victim, made me put looking at emails briefly on hold. I had only seen your initial one and I saw the fake one, but when I went,
maybe, but like I said, I'm just trying to look at it kind of objectively here. So
back to look at emails.
So this is where the spoofing one. Here's my story with Delirious, and you see here this email they released, more stuff. This is him just showing, I
saw
he received
the fake one first when I went back.
And I will say this, in regards to this, the timing of it, if they were both sent the same day, very close to each other, that definitely is suspicious, right? It's definitely suspicious. Let me look at it here. Let me go back. Let me see if there's a timestamp. So this was 8:40 a.m. This is the fake email. Okay, let's see her email.
What I was
see how far apart that
could
is.
have only two,
because times email was this.
Where is it?
Right, it was one number.
So this was the fake one. Trying to go back to find the other one. Okay. Let's go back and find the other one. Let's see. Trying to find the one that the actual one that she sent. So just going to start with Delirious. Let's see hers. Let's see. Where is it? Pretty sure it's okay. No, I think it's a little bit earlier on. I will find it. Just bear with me, y'all. Let me see. See, the thing is, Ohm doesn't leave this stuff on like very long either. There's a lot of stuff that he just kind of like skims through. Okay, here we go. I think this is her email. Oh no, this is the one she sent to Delirious. This is Monday. I'm not sure what time that was sent, but let's go on here. Where is it? I know we saw it here. Yeah, so this is, Brooklyn Rose, this guy says this is a completely different email. You know, it's a Gmail though. But again, he shouldn't have done that. You know, I get what Bulldog Ross was trying to do, but he shouldn't have done that. All right, that's a little bit further on. Hold on. Where is her email? I don't think it shows a timestamp, but I guess it was the day before. I guess hers was the day before, or no, on the same day. So that does look suspicious, right? When you see her email was sent on the Monday, but again, I don't have the date of hers. The date of her email. Let me see. She sent that email to Delirious Monday, but let me see. I don't think he's not showing her email that she sent him. I thought
that you're a real person.
I thought he did. Maybe it's earlier on, and I just kind of missed over it. But that's the email that she sent Delirious. I want to see the email. I could have sworn that we saw that, didn't we? The email that she sent Ohm. She just shows the one that she sent Delirious, but I'll go back and check it for later. Let's go with this here, though.
Get emails. I saw this email that almost worked because
up,
it took.
What's going on?
What's up, Aura? Joining the stream.
Yeah, I made it. Sort of.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the email. I don't think Ohm showed the email that she showed. The email that basically that she had sent to Delirious. He showed that, but he's not showing the email that, at least in this video that I can see, he's not showing the email that she, and by she I mean Sai or C or whatever.
I can see.
She's not showing. Yeah, she's not showing the one that he's not showing the one that he sent her. In regard to her story.
Oh, you mean the one that of like her reaching out to him and she used the.
Yeah.
Hold on, I think I have it. Let me see.
I'm wondering, because I'm looking back on the video. I think I passed it, or maybe he just shows it so brief that it's not showing.
No, it's when he is early going on about it. It's early on in the video, so I think I took a screenshot of it. Yeah, here it is. I found it. Victim of Delirious. That's the header of it.
Okay,
I'll send it to you.
Well, I'll share screen for you. Are you?
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone.
Okay. Send it to me.
Do you want it on Discord or do you want it on Twitter?
I just send it on Twitter. That's fine.
All right. And 3, 2, 1. There you go. And the date is right there.
Okay, let me see. Let's see here. Origami. Okay, here it is. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to show this real quick. Let me share screen real quick. Yeah, so he didn't. Well, yeah, he did show this. He showed it very brief. That's right.
Yeah, it skimmed by, and then he showed the fake one instead.
That's what it was. All right, so it's weird because when you slide the timeline, it doesn't pop up. Let me see. So let's show that again real quick. Share screen. All right. So, all right, here it is. Victim of Delirious. So you see, different It's Hotmail for obvious reasons. So this was sent at 7:42 p.m. on Sunday, so the day before. So
it was the same date as Drama Alert. Drama Alert, aired on the 23rd as well.
The 23rd. So same day as the Drama Alert is when she sent this. Now the email, the fake email, was sent the very next day in the morning time.
Yes.
You know, the fake one was sent. So that's what I wanted to see. So it was sent on the 24th, the very next day. So look, it's possible. It's possible that if, like I said, if we're to believe her claim that she only sent it to 2 people, which again, that's up in the air, it's possible. And
here's my speculation of that. How would Delirious know that she's gonna? Well, I guess because I think Marcel. She's talking to Marcel, so maybe Marcel warned Delirious. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It depends on the timing because we don't get to see the time where she was speaking to Marcel. The date and time was cut out.
Yeah, that's the other thing too that I think is interesting. We don't have timestamps for when she actually had a conversation with Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Did you notice in those DMs that she makes it sound like Ohm wants to talk to her, not that she's trying to reach him?
Yes.
Was she speaking to Marcel?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Just thought it was me.
Yeah. Let's continue on here though with the video real quick because I'm a little more than halfway through it.
Get it, John. Get it.
Because that one guy who faked a victim, made me put looking at emails briefly on hold. I'd only seen your initial one and I saw the fake one. But when I went back to look at emails, I saw the fake one first when I went back. And I also saw your name a couple other times with attachment, at this point I was already worried because I'd already had my internet provider had gotten attacked that night where I'd gone offline. And I was getting, all sorts of different emails, stuff like that seemed like people were trying to get my account. So I was already concerned. But when I went back to that email, the first one I saw was this one that claimed that you were fake. And I nearly deleted all the emails. If it wasn't for the other, so tell me this, did you send me any additional emails besides that first one?
I sent you a couple more with some screenshots that I have.
And to be clear, these screenshots are not illegal in any way. They're not nudes of you underage or anything like that. These were just for evidence, essentially, that you're
just to prove
that you're a real person.
Yes, that I was.
And just to be clear about something, obviously nobody would expect her to share that. And this is something that I don't know if you heard this when I was talking about this earlier, or there's a point where Ohm puts on screen, she has proof that show that Delirious didn't know her age, but she's not going to show them at this time because she has concerns about being doxxed. And I'm like, well, you could just redact it. And again, I'm not saying maybe she does have them. She does have them, but it would be so much more beneficial to just show them because you could still redact stuff off her. Obviously, Ohm knows how to redact stuff.
Well, I was going to say, didn't they put her ID on there and they redacted a bunch of shit?
Yeah.
On Twitter. Yeah.
Well, not just that. Yeah, not just that. I'm just like, Ohm could show it. It's just like, so I don't know. Maybe there's a bigger expose he's doing later and he's saving it for that. But again, it's like you're making it harder by just not look. If you got stuff that's a lot more concrete, you know what I mean? They could really substantiate what she's saying. Just storm out the gate.
I don't understand it because, like, if you're gonna take it to the internet already, because you're already doing that, it would only strengthen your point in interview right now just to show a glimpse of what you have. Yes. I don't know what you're gonna sit on it for. Like, I really don't.
Yeah, I don't understand that logic either. But like I said, he said towards the end of this video, he says he's making more videos on this. So he's saving it for a bigger expose, maybe. Mm-hmm. But let's continue on here with this. We'll get through this pretty quick. So
talking to a group of people because I could have been anyone.
Right, and I need to establish this too. You cannot, and this goes. I mean, you're not the only person that's come forward, but you can't send illegal pictures to somebody because then they would be in possession of child pornography. So there's a lot of people that claim they want these full receipts, stuff like that. You can't eat, like there's no world where I could possess that stuff legally. I'm not a investigator.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
This I think is the dumb thing that he brings up here, because you don't need to have that. You say you have text messages, presumably ones that are substantiated in some way, that say
Yes.
that he acknowledges her age while they're having these sexually charged conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need anything illicit. Like, nobody needs to see. You don't need to receive any kind of CP. You know what I mean? In order to, yeah. Go ahead,
All you would need is something that shows that Delirious is being overtly sexual. Like, yo, take them panties off, or let me see them titties, right? And then she's like, I'm like 15. Yeah, it's all right. It'll be all right. Show me anyway. That is damning. Like, that's enough. I don't need to see no CP. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't know. But let's continue on here.
Or the police. That sort of stuff you can't show in a YouTube video or anything like that. The things that you're bringing up as part of
Thank God we have Ohm here. So, thank God, John.
Part of UK law is that even if I possess them of myself, technically it's child porn.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it could. Technically, it could get even you in trouble depending on the circumstances.
Yes.
In the case of being a victim, though, of somebody that is abusing their power or grooming, stuff like that, I think that, there's obviously way, way, way more leniency because you're being victimized. But
I'm pretty sure that no freaking authorities would be like, why do you have these of yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that she would be browbeaten by them and be like, oh, why do you got these? Especially if she's saying, hey, listen, somebody abused me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, regardless too, almost forgetting the fact that not just the CP thing, but even if like you're an adult and you share somebody's nudes, that's revenge porn. So regardless, you shouldn't share nobody else's nudes.
Yeah.
Just throw that out there.
It's a huge concern. Yeah. And so this email, if it weren't for your other two emails with these attachments, which I think for privacy reasons I shouldn't really show because it's identifying information, but
sorry about that.
I thought that was Ohm. I was like, what the hell?
If it weren't for those emails, I would have deleted your email thinking that it was all bullcrap because, it was clear that there were a lot of trolls attacking. So thank God you sent me a couple more emails because otherwise that bruise would have worked. And I know you had suggested that you think that it's serious, and obviously I wouldn't email myself.
So people.
Did you catch that, John? Did you catch that?
What's up?
Did you catch that part where he said, thank God you kept on emailing me? She avidly tried to reach out to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just pointing that out.
Name is not exactly a really common name.
Right. I think statistically, I mean, I'd have a better chance of getting struck by lightning like 15 times in a row in the same day than anyone guessing your full name and email account. So I
see the thing is with this, like I said, we have to take her word for it that she only sent it to two people.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
She didn't CC it to anybody else, or that she didn't just outright, send or say that she was going to be messaging anybody else, right? We got to take her at her word, apparently. And again, look, maybe she's telling the truth. The problem is, again, it's who she decided to go through to do all this, which is already the biggest issue, because you have a guy that, unfortunately, even if he's right about this, right? Let's say for the sake of argument, right, that there might be some truth to it, right? Yeah. The waters are already so muddied because of the fact that she decided to go through Ohm, and Ohm himself has credibility issues because of who he's already collaborated with, who he's conspired with in the past. For all we know, he could have this completely right? But we don't know that. And the thing is, there's always going to be a cloud over this entire situation because, for one, she's not really shown substantial proof yet herself, and we have to take her word for it. We have to take Ohm's word for it, right? If you look at the comment section here, there's a lot of people that are seemingly in support of this girl and seem to be on Ohm's side. This could be because comments are being deleted, right?
Well, it's a fresh Me Too story, dude.
Yeah.
Like this is natural. This is very common. Everyone always jumps on top of a Me Too story.
Well,
you know?
there's more empathy. There seems to be a lot more empathy when they can actually hear somebody speak in a situation. There seems to be a lot more empathy, a lot more sympathy. Even though to me it doesn't sound like she's very broken up about everything. That's not to say again that she's lying about it, because I don't know. But I'm not convinced by a lot of what's being said. But that doesn't mean mean that she that there's not truth. But
yeah, I mean, like if I may real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing: when somebody's telling the truth, in my opinion, in my perspective, point of view, whatever you guys want to call it, I don't think it should be that easy to see the cracks in the story. Yes. I see lots of cracks in the story.
Me too.
Yeah. And therefore, it leads me to believe that something fishy is going on amongst using Ohmwrecker as a credible source, who was conspiring with other victims, who threw him under the bus, saying that he used them to feed his agenda. Keep in mind, Ohm does have an agenda. All right? Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
So he's going to do whatever he has to do to fulfill his agenda, even if he has to use people. Nevertheless, the other people were kind of shitty people too, but still, he's not beyond it. So, keep that in mind. Somebody with an agenda. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah. No, and that's the biggest issue with everything. Like I said, because it's coming from him now, and he has himself credibility issues. It's like, bro, this is a tough sell. And again, there's just weird things that are said in this, like herself. And again, it's not to say that she's lying. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm not just going to believe her outright, just like I'm not going to believe Ohmwrecker, just like I'm not going to believe Delirious outright. I don't know Delirious, you know what I mean?
We don't know everything to a T. I'm just saying what is presented right now.
Yeah.
I see lots of cracks in the story. I'll wait for you to get to Delirious's response. I don't know if you want to cover that.
Yeah, no, I am going to get to that for sure.
Yeah, so I'll wait to talk about that point. But I'm just saying that's my perspective on all that bullshit.
Yeah, because there is some weird things in his response too that I noticed. But again, I don't know anything. I can't say for certain about anything. We'll try to get through the rest of this video as quickly as possible.
I agree with your theory. It doesn't make sense that email could have come from anywhere else. So what would that indicate to you? So instead of you getting an apology, as you had asked, which you said that's all you asked for, you weren't trying to shake him down or ask him for money or anything, right? Like you just strictly asked for an apology. So
in my email, that's all I asked for. Just apologize. It's an apology. I'm not going after you. I don't care about anything else.
So you felt you were owed an apology
at the very least,
because it was. I mean, why were you owed an apology?
Well, what he did was fucked up.
So you felt you were owed an apology for that. Have you ever received an apology?
I mean, what he did, it wasn't that it was just messed up. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's like, why? See, this is where, like I said, because it was the same thing with the people that accused Louis. All they wanted was ultimately an apology. Why, though? I mean, you have a person claiming that they were, making underage claims. You have another person, Cyan, saying basically, flip-flopping between it, but basically saying that Louis assaulted her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you just want an apology for all that? You know what I mean? If these are serious allegations you're making against someone, I would think, again, you don't want this person to do this. If you're a person that's really seeking justice, you don't want them to do this to other people. If you're this caring person that you say that you are, that you put yourself out there to be, you don't want this to happen to somebody else.
I have a hot take as fuck. It's hot as fuck take. It's a spicy hot meatball take. I'm telling you right now. I am.
Go ahead. TJV in the chat.
Go ahead, Aura. All right. So the thing with the people being like, yeah, I mean, yes, but engaging with a fucking young adult is kind of fucking disturbing. I don't really care for it. It's not my fucking cup of tea. I wouldn't fucking do it. But at the same time, I think people need to stop preaching constantly about the one-sided thing of it. I think people need to tell children that they shouldn't be conversing with adults as well. You know what I mean? Instead of saying like, oh, it's the adult's responsibility only. I'm like, sure, they have a responsibility because they're older, but at the same time, I'm like, I think it's important to tell the children to not fucking do this shit, because it gets them in trouble. It gets the other individuals in trouble. It causes trouble for everybody, because then you get situations like this. That's what I think. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to. They give the kids a pass because they're too young. I'm like, dude, I was a kid. I knew exactly what the fuck I was doing around those ages. I knew what was right and wrong. You know what I mean? And I was sneaky as fuck to get away with certain things, just like other teenagers are. So I think it needs to be established on both fucking ways too. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So.
Yeah. Rogue for 5, thank you so much. Appreciate it. After years of Me Too, fake hoaxes, BS, wanting an apology will be looked at as an admission of guilt and justification, dogpile without fear. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if somebody says they're sorry, that's people take that as an admission of guilt in most cases. You know what I mean? Even if they don't specifically apologize for that thing.
And it's like a trap. It's almost like a trap. If he apologizes for this one thing, then anything else he's accused of coming forward or prior to this will be guilty for everything.
Yeah, and people will take that as validation. It was like, well, shit, if he did it this time, then he must have known that girl was 17 after all. That's the way people will. That's the way they'll rationalize it. They'll be like, well,
it's happened all the time. Vic Mignogna, perfect example.
Yep. So let's continue on here real quick.
Yes, sir.
Apology at all?
No. I've received no form of acknowledgement, really.
Well, I mean, I guess you could argue that the email was a form of acknowledgement, right, to imitate you.
He knows I'm around.
And you would say that Marcel knows you're around, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation. Again, I feel like, to recap, you are not this 17-year-old girl that Marcel used to record Delirious having phone sex. Again, to clarify, that's not you, right?
Nope.
The other interesting thing about this, without even getting to the messed up part of it, is that Delirious chose to vent and, pry about the situation where he was obviously clearly hurt. There was Twitter comments from Wildcat and
just to go back to this, that just sounds weird. Like I said, I mean, look, maybe Delirious, it's possible that he's that dumb, right? Oh my God, they set me up with this underage girl and then recorded it. I know that you're underage, so I'm gonna have phone sex with you too. It's a little weird.
That literally doesn't make any sense. Like, oh God, you won't believe what they did to me. Oh my God, I fucking whacked it to a kid.
It makes sense. It makes sense if he's an absolute retard, right? If he's just that stupid. If he's
dude, that's like Chris Chan levels of dumb. Like, I don't even understand.
Yeah,
it's like, whatever.
We would have to. And again, look, just to be clear, maybe he is that dumb. I don't know. I don't know. Dude. You know what I mean? It's certainly possible that maybe he is that dumb, but it's kind of like that just sounds weird. It just sounds
the latter. Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds strange that you basically got into this situation with somebody else who you didn't know was underage, but then you're gonna cry about it to somebody that's underage, and then also do the same thing with them.
Exactly, dude. It's weird. Oh, they got me. Take your panties off. Like fucking yeah.
Yeah, right. It doesn't. It's just weird. It's just I find that to be odd. But again, like I said, look, maybe he's brain damaged. Maybe
he's just he's that much of a loser that he just needs to get like all fucking sexy time with everybody in his path. Yeah,
maybe it's possible. It's possible. Look, like I said, it's always within the realm of possibility. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that it happened in that particular instance, right? He cried to this girl about this happening to him. Maybe it could have happened later. I don't know. It's possible, but it just sounds weird. It just sounds weird. I don't know. But like I said, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Zombie Fox, thank you for the 5. I got called a masochist for going on to watch the painful interview 3 times now, so I learned a new word and I don't know how to feel about it, about being called it. I mean, look, you're a trooper, man. You're a trooper, man. Let's continue on though with this, because then we're gonna get into what Delirious said.
And Jake Lee and all these other guys on Twitter that were public, that were boasting about this recording. So he chose to call you, but what's really messed up is that you were yourself underage, and you had things going on with him too, right? So the irony of the situation.
I comforted him about it.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And like I said, to be clear, maybe she did, and maybe sometime afterwards he ended up doing the same thing with her, right? But again, you know, from the way it comes across in this interview, it's like, you know, you don't know when, because there's no specified time of when this happened. She's just saying that, yeah, you know, I comforted him about having this phone sex with this underage person, but then he had phone sex with me. And it's just like, okay, when did that, was that before? You know, was that after? Like when, you know, I would think after, maybe, from the way it's being presented here, but again, don't know. It's just odd. It just sounds very weird.
Even the description of phone sex sounds weird. His camera was totally off. He was moaning in the darkness, like, oh, ooga chaga, ooga, ooga, ooga chaga. He's totally whacking off. I can't help this. Ooga chaga. Do it, John.
Yeah.
Do it. Ooga chaga.
Yeah.
Come on, John. Do it for the stream.
Maybe later. Maybe later. No.
You're lying. You're a liar.
I mean, look, if I from Delirious' voice, I get the feeling like maybe his type of one.
Ooga shaga, ooga, ooga.
I don't know. And again, I don't know. I don't think it would be deep. I don't think. You know, I mean, I think it'd probably be more like
Yeah. It's all pathetic and shit. Like,
I don't know. Because, like I said, you know,
to me, it's really messed up to think about now.
Well, I mean, as you said, at the time, you didn't see it the way you see it today.
No, now I'm 26 soon. I wouldn't do that with a child. If someone tells you they're a kid,
and just to be clear, she says she's about to be 26. She clarifies that and says she's turning 26. So she's 25. This happened about 9 years ago. Delirious, according to what Ohm says, would have been, 23, 24. She would have been about 16 years old around that time. Now, Aura, we when we were talking earlier, you pulled up some stuff that you might want to, which I know is going to be repeated later on, but I think you should probably, if you want to bring that up now.
Oh, you want the links? Yeah, I'll send them to you.
Yeah, if you want to send the links, and I'll show them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here, which again, this doesn't. If any of this did actually happen, this is not any kind of exoneration, you know, on, I guess, on a moral level, right? Because, you know, if he did these things, right, morally, it's pretty jacked up, right?
Yeah. I'll send you the article and the screenshot so that way you can do both.
Yeah. Appreciate it, buddy.
No problem. Let me get this loaded up.
Yeah. We'll bring that up here in just a moment.
And I'll see you in the next video.
I knew that was coming.
Why? How did you know?
I just knew. I felt it. It's gonna come sooner or later. There it is. So,
all right. So there's the article, and I believe. Here is this right here.
All right.
Send that while I'm at it.
And I'll open these things up. So I'm gonna bring these up here real quick. So here are some things that we're gonna go over here. And again, this is just being brought up just from looking at it from the we're gonna look at it from the legal perspective here for a moment. Okay.
And the second thing I'm sending you is the cyber stuff. By the way. And here's a screenshot if you don't want to read it. There you are. Ooga chaga.
All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so
you can leak our DMs. I'm fine with that. All I send you is a bunch of pictures.
I'm not going to pull a crow. So let's look at UK law for a moment regarding this stuff here. All right, this is regarding to the internet. Okay, so images, according to UK law, of the children's possession, having in your possession a sexual image of anyone under the age of 18, whether this is a physical or an electronic copy. Let's see. According to UK law, okay, there are 4 main offenses relating to the access of sexual images of children that you could be penalized for, because she does mention that she is in the UK. So possession, having in possession a sexual image of anyone under the age of 18, whether this is a physical or electronic copy, distribution, sending a sexual image of a child to another person. It includes the distribution through chat rooms, email, phone, applications, text messaging, USB sticks, file sharing websites, peer-to-peer. Sometimes file sharing websites will allow others to access your files without your direct knowledge. You need to check your settings to ensure that this isn't the case. The authorities will assume that you have consented to any form of distribution and will not accept any lack of understanding. If the authorities find evidence of intent to distribute, even if you haven't done so, it is possible to be charged for distribution. Then we have making, taking, and this is the part I think you wanted me to, this one, right?
It's down because all those apply to children. However, the age of 16 is the age of consent. So if you have to be below that age for any of that to apply.
Yeah, so below the age of 16 for any of this. So the making, the taking. So making says an electronic copy of sexual image of a child that includes copies of images that are purposely saved by a user on the device, and the automatic copy saved to the device when an image is clicked on. It also includes images automatically downloaded from file sharing websites, taking your own sexual images of a child. And what it says here, Section 15A of the Sexual Offenses Act 2003 makes it illegal for an adult to intentionally communicate with a child under 16 for a sexual purpose. This offense is sometimes referred to as online grooming. The offense is still committed whether or not the child communicates with the adult. So,
wow, this is UK law.
This is UK.
Yeah.
Okay,
cyber stuff too. So that's what it's covering.
Oof.
You have to be under 16 for this stuff to be illegal and to apply.
So I went over this with Steve as well. I don't think Delirious did anything wrong. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Legally, at least if we're interpreting this correctly, which I'm pretty sure we are, legally he wouldn't be on the hook for anything because of age of consent, because she would have been 16 at the time. Okay, even if he was 24. Now, again, you can make the moral argument about it.
Did he know the age?
Well, I don't know. Yet to be proven.
She says that he did, but even if he did, again, she's not under the age of 16.
Mm-hmm. So I saw the Ohmwrecker, what do you call it? DM to this person, so basically Delirious made a twit longer, and in one of the twit longer he put a link to basically Ohmwrecker going to one person, right? He said he's done this to various people, and I actually believe him, but he shows the proof that Ohm has gone to people's DMs and has said basically, do you have a bad relationship with H2O Delirious or something? And basically coercing them into, hey, let's team up and go after this person.
He's also done that, I think, with didn't he do that with Louis as well? Didn't he do that with almost everybody?
He fucking got caught what is that the word, cooperating?
Corroborating.
With Pearson made Luke, Cyan, and those other two.
Yeah, he did. He's actually the one. He actually outed Luke as being one of the conspirators in this. But here, aside from that, now this is where Delirious lives in South Carolina. So look at what it says here. South Carolina's age of consent law means that a child under the age of 16
I'll be right back.
cannot legally consent to sex, and if someone is age 18 or older has sex with a child under the age of 16, he or she can face serious criminal charges. So here's the thing with this, right? By me showing this is just me showing that even if he knew, at least, again, if we're interpreting this correctly, he would not be on the hook either in his jurisdiction, which would be South Carolina, or UK. Legally, there's really, and the thing is, in his state, here's the interesting thing about the state of South Carolina. I'll give you a little backstory about here in the state of Florida. Back some years back, they changed this. Now, age of consent here in Florida is 18. But before, age of consent here in Florida, used to be 16. Okay. Now that had a restriction on it though, because if the person was 16 years old, they could not have relations with anybody older than 24.
Whoa.
Okay. So a 16 and a 24-year-old could hook up, and the 24-year-old could not get penalized legally because he's still within that threshold. Okay. If you would have gone over that threshold, then he could be penalized. Now I believe they did. They did away with that first with the age restriction, because I believe at some point they lowered it from the 16 to 24. They lowered it 16 to 20, and now they just ended up changing the age of consent. Period. So in South Carolina, at least as far as we've been able to find, there is no restriction on age. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at here? So even if Delirious, right, was 24 or older, it still wouldn't have mattered. Legally, he would have still been in the clear. Again, as far as we know, that could have changed, and maybe we just didn't find that. But at least as far as we were able to find so far.
That's so really weird, though, actually. When it's,
it's South Carolina,
yeah, but who? What the fuck? I didn't know that existed in the in the U.S. That's kind of weird. It's like 16.
Is he in North Carolina? Hold on, let's find, because I thought he was in South Carolina. I'm pretty sure
16 to 24 is kind of like weird, though, John. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh no, it is. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that was the law at some point, though. That was the restriction of the law. Okay.
That's strange, dude. I didn't know that shit existed here in the U.S. I thought that was
so in North Carolina,
a UK thing.
North Carolina, it's the same thing. Age of consent is still 16 in North Carolina
to this day.
Yep.
Crazy.
I'll show it right here just so that people can see. But I looked it up. Now I don't know if North Carolina has an age restriction, right? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I know that South Carolina doesn't, and I'm not saying that just because, because it's North Carolina and South Carolina, that they're going to have the same laws. You know what I mean? Maybe they have a restriction. I don't see it here, but it doesn't mean that it does not exist. So let me go ahead and bring that up, because people are saying that North Carolina. So let's go to North Carolina, age of consent. And y'all can see it right here.
Ohmwrecker just tweeted the new video.
The next part? Wow, that was fast. Maybe
an innocent man doesn't delete thousands of tweets the second girl's allegations surface. Look it up on Social Blade. An innocent man lets lawyers do the talking, doesn't imitate victims or threaten them. Listen to the girls and their allegations. H2O Delirious allegations, Psy Predator allegations. What the fuck? He pinned this. Character assassination should be telling in itself. All he wants to do is discredit. Even the person he tried to use against Psy immediately spoke up denouncing Delirious's lie about her being in a doxing group. Delirious was friends with him. She was not in that group. He has two other tweets, and this is so it's basically a thread. The only difference in this one is that he doesn't let anybody comment aside from the people that follow, or mention him. Yeah.
All right, so as it pertains to sexual intercourse, the age of consent in North Carolina is 16 years old. Now, that is for intercourse, but I'm pretty sure, let me see, if you're sexually active with someone who is 15 years or younger, that potentially places you at risk for criminal prosecution for statutory sex offenses. Again, if they're 15 years or younger. So we see here all including statutory rape, indecent liberties with a minor, and even contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So we'd have to dive a little bit more into the laws to see. But again, he'd still be protected under his own state law unless there's any kind of restrictions, which I don't see. Like they're talking about much younger here, but I'm not seeing less than 13 years old, one felony. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that shows any kind of restriction on age in North Carolina either. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, because again, back here in Florida, back in the day, I remember that it used to be.
He mentioned Louis Caliber in this, by the way.
Wait, Ohm did?
Yeah, the last part. The origin person on all this is a streamer who dated Delirious and even allegedly reported Delirious to the police for revenge porn, and CP also has been terrified to speak up. She knew of another girls herself with CP claims, one of which is tied to Louis Caliber.
Wait a second. Whoa, he's name dropping. Okay, hold on. I gotta look.
I put the
okay,
link.
I
Yeah,
I see it.
Link. It's like, what? He's dropping Louis' name. Oh, couldn't stay away, could you?
Hold on.
Also, John, false alarm. This isn't the second allegation. This is still the first one.
Yes.
He just pinned this, and
he just pinned it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Let's try to finish up his video here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into the North Carolina stuff because again, age of consent there. He again presuming that there is no restriction on age. Legally, there's not much that could be done to him. Now, granted, if you want, if all you want is apology, if that's what you're gonna settle with.
Well, doesn't they just want that for the for what do you call it? Guilt by admission or something, like so that they can pin everything else that they want to make up like on them, like, oh, see, he admitted to it, he's guilty of all the crimes we're seeing.
But again, I don't think he's never going to do that. You know, I mean, he's never going to. If he did, right? If he did do it, or his back. If he did do it, he's never going to cop to it. You know what I mean?
He's still posting on the fucking thread. What the fuck?
So we'll go into Ohm's thread. Let's try to finish this video first, and then we'll go into Ohm's thread, I guess. And then I guess we can talk about the twit longer on Pro Stream, if anything, because there are some strange things in that twit longer too. But
why do you think he name dropped Louis?
To get more traction.
Because to get more traction, and also maybe he's trying to get the girls to come out of the woodwork again. Although I doubt that they're going to side with him.
If anyone hates Louis, or if anyone agrees with the Louis allegations, they need to agree with this one.
Yeah,
that puts you in a like. If you believe one allegation over the other, doesn't that put you in a tricky situation?
It does. Yeah, it does. But I don't know. Maybe it's to see if he could get traction. Maybe he wants a redemption arc with them. I don't know.
I think he's desperate. I think he's just desperate.
It's possible. Yeah,
I think he's about to go all out as much as he fucking can. But the problem is, I don't think he will. I just think he sucks. So
he's talking about lawyers and about him going to court if he needs to and shit. That's the latest.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just looking at this shit.
No, yeah, go out with big dick energy. Like that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right, so let's finish up this video here real quick. But like I said, people are saying that it was North Carolina that Delirious is in, and I looked, and its age of consent is also 16 there, but I didn't find any restrictions on age. And again, it's not to say that there aren't any. I just didn't show any on the page that I went to. So,
John, I told you, dog. You see what happens when you correct me? Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all right.
No, remember I looked at North Carolina. You're like, he's in South, you dumbass.
Well, I was pretty sure that it's South Carolina.
Please, no, John. Please, no yell.
But okay, I was wrong. See, but I can admit when I'm wrong.
I'm just kidding, Don. Don't worry. I'll look for it in a minute.
I'm man enough to admit. All right, let's finish this video up.
You don't talk to them, or you keep it very, very strict, like boundaries. You don't do that. It's not okay.
I would argue, especially when you're in a position of power, especially when you're a YouTuber and you're looked up to, even if you're a small YouTuber.
Power dynamic argument.
I don't care about the power dynamic argument.
Dude, honestly, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if this shit is true, why are you even bringing up a fucking power dynamic? Like, fuck that.
Look, here's the thing. The power dynamic, the one that people always go to, a power dynamic can exist in just about any possible situation, including
your father has a power dynamic over you.
Any situation that could apply to any conceivable situation. So to me, it doesn't really matter. The power dynamic is a stupid argument. The whole thing, Harvey Weinstein, power dynamic. It's like, if he's so powerful, why did it take a fucking blog post, an unknown journalist, to destroy his little fucking empire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hannibal Buress making an off-the-cuff remark about Bill Cosby is what landed Bill Cosby in jail. Hannibal Buress, a subpar freaking...
Subpar? He's a shit comedian. He sucks.
Yeah. You know, friggin' a mediocre comedian saying a comment in passing is what turned everything. Look, if he was so powerful, right? If these men are so powerful, then they would be able to beat all that, right? And granted, don't get me wrong, it's not to say that they probably were able to pay their way or find a way to keep the scent off them for a long time because of the fact that they had money and influence. There's no doubt about that. There's factors involved. But at the end of the day, look, people choose to believe something when they want to believe it. And I think those are prime examples of those situations. So the whole thing that kind of throws the power dynamic argument a little bit out the window when the most important things can top, they can cause everything to topple. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that power dynamics don't exist. I'm just saying that it's just a stupid argument to make because every situation is different. Every situation,
Yep.
So we'll finish this up here.
Tell me this. Back, at that time, was it a big deal to have even 1,000 subs or 5,000 subs or 10,000 subs?
Yeah, it was a big deal. We're talking maybe 9 years ago.
That's a stupid argument.
That is a stupid argument because it honestly, no, it wasn't. It's not that big of a deal to have that many, even back then. Because I was on YouTube then, and I can tell you,
What
at
the
that
fuck?
point in time, by 2011, 2012, having 10,000 subs is like
Didn't mean shit.
Ohmwrecker just addressed YouTubers now. On those
It didn't mean anything. Oh yeah, he's still tweeting. Well,
Yeah.
I can go over a little bit of his thread.
You should look over it.
Well, we're almost done with this though, and the thing is, I know I get it. Like if we do this, because the thing is, look, if we do this on Crow's stream, it's gonna take an Aura stream. It's gonna take a lot longer. This video.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm getting through.
I mean, I wrote down timestamps, but that doesn't mean anything.
That
to be
doesn't.
honest, so.
Yeah.
Those go out the window. Those kind of go out the window. So
Yeah.
So let's try to let's soldier through it. We almost got it, boys.
10,000.
Put that shit on 2 minutes. Put that shit on 2 speed.
2 speed.
God damn.
Yeah, I'll speed it up. Might as well. Playback speed. Here we go. We'll put it on, but 2. There we go.
You've done it. You've made it.
Yeah, I mean, they're wearing 50
Now
million
it's
sub channels and stuff at that
10,000.
time.
Yeah, if you
Oh
10,000.
shit.
It might be going a little too quick. Hold on.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, that we'll just put it at 120, 125.
Like a pat on the back.
Right.
If that. It's a big difference to what it was then.
So
That around that time, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Within my first year on YouTube, I had gotten to maybe I know my first year of YouTube, I reached 1,000 subs pretty quickly, and I reached 5,000 subs within the next couple months. So it wasn't that hard.
You want to know what's stupid?
A deal.
The power dynamic argument is so fucking dumb. And if Ohm himself gets caught in any kind of controversy, I think, he's not going to like that same logic applied to him.
Didn't he have a controversy with him cheating on his girlfriend?
Oh, allegedly.
Oh yeah,
That would be,
they're the fucking audio leaks.
Oh yeah, there's that's a story for
I was saving that for later. God damn it. Whatever.
Oh yeah, me and Steve went over it. It was hilarious.
Yeah, there's some sus stuff there too, but
Ohm is power dynamic.
backlash fits the reality of the things that have gone on that were raised.
No. I've seen a lot of stuff that's just not necessary. You only see what you want to see, especially when you really idolize a YouTuber. I know, I've been there. Don't blindly follow a YouTuber just because you like them. It's not as black and white as it seems when you're just watching YouTube videos. There's a lot more that goes on that you don't know about. Be a fan, but don't obsess.
Fuck, man. It's some fucking weird ass conspiracy shit.
Harassing other people.
Yeah.
Did you have concerns, by the way, before, when it came to coming out? Because I know that originally you had intended on bringing this to light yourself, but is there a reason that you hadn't said anything until now, and in terms of any sort of details?
I didn't care.
That tweet,
That's why I didn't come out.
I don't know if a lot of people seen it. I've maybe cut private, but my personal life was.
Let me pause here. This is actually a good point by Kayla. Remember earlier when she said she was all about their channel growth, she said she liked being a part of that? Yeah, pretty interesting how then after the fact it's a problem. But, well, she had, her vision was clouded.
Totally invaded.
No vision.
For my family's protection, basically, I don't want my name or anything out there right now.
So this is the safest method that you view right now in terms of saying anything.
Yeah, I don't want...
Not the police. Ohmwrecker.
The kids.
Hell yeah.
From my experience on Twitter last time, it was, scary.
Well, yeah, and to be clear, there were people digging into your personal life within, 20, 30 minutes, if that?
It's called research.
People very find my Instagram and things like that.
Right, despite your efforts to try to protect your privacy.
Yeah,
So,
I made an account that didn't have my name on and everything like that, but people still couldn't just leave it at that. Everything, they went through everything.
So with that in mind, obviously things have been quiet for a little while.
This is her basically showing, Marcel, will you say it's okay for me to delete that Twitter account? Look at this. I'm very worried because I guess, somebody sent her a message or something, or maybe tweet at her saying that, an obvious threat, which obviously it's not okay.
Yeah. People are always going to do that, and that's fucked up.
Yeah. Regardless, it's messed up, and but it's one of the risks involved when you decide to go to social media.
Did I tell you somebody fucking tried to fucking intimidate me by sending me my own name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me about that.
That's pretty funny.
You're like, oh no, I mean, it's my name. Oh no, he knows my name.
Oh my goodness.
He gonna get me.
Don't leave me alone, Mr. Bad Man.
I have 5 names. They fucking can't make up their fucking mind. It's annoying.
And they're all like Amish. You know what I mean? Like
they're all generic
Chris.
white.
Yeah, like brother Chris, brother Tom, brother. I don't know. They're all fucking lame.
Paul is one of them too.
All right,
see that's what I'm talking about.
Let's finish this up.
Wow. Is there any sort of reason for that without getting into specifics, just even if it's just yes or no? Is there a reason that things have been very quiet through June and into July?
Yes, there's a reason for it. And
are you trying to address it still in some way, just behind the scenes?
I'm doing the interview, you dumb shit.
I don't want any more of my privacy invaded, so I'm just doing it behind the scenes to the best of my ability with help from some really great people.
And when you say they know all your details?
Now,
you being on this interview counters your statement entirely.
That's what Steve said.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Let's just assume she's trying to handle things legally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they do things in the UK. Maybe it's different. But when you're handling things through legal channels, they don't want you to talk about shit publicly, especially when it comes to these kind of allegations. Okay? Mm-hmm. They don't want you to do that. So maybe it's possible that she is, but I think it's a little counterintuitive for her to then go have an interview with Ohm. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you're essentially tipping off Delirious. So if there is any evidence, right, if he's in possession, let's say of CP, which would still be a crime, right? That is something that even if what he did at the time, right, wasn't illegal because of age of consent, him having possession of anything illicit of her, though, still would be illegal. And he would get dinged for that if he does have possession of that. So he could still go to jail if what she's saying is true and she sent him all this stuff and he ended up saving it, right? He could still get dinged. But here's the problem. Because of her taking this online and saying that it was
alerting him.
She's alerting him. So he could end up scrubbing his shit. You know what I mean? And people say, well, no, there's still digital footprints and stuff left behind. Sure, maybe. But
let's talk to EDP about that. Let's see how EDP handled that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly my point. You know what I'm saying? So again, why are you here talking about it publicly with Ohm instead of just handling? Look, if you're handling it privately, handle it privately. You know what I'm saying? If you're handling it through legal channels, which she doesn't say that she is or isn't, maybe she is. Maybe she is. It's totally possible. This is not what you should be doing. And least of all, with a guy who, again, has credibility issues already.
Well, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I don't know what the fuck she's doing, dude. I don't know anything. This person is weird. Ohm is weird.
It's just strange, like I said. And again, I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not saying she's telling the truth. I don't know. But the thing is, again, none of it doesn't I'm not convinced of anything though yet. That's all I'm saying. So let's continue on with this. We'll try to finish it up here.
Would you say that, or would you say that you're private or anonymous?
Yes.
Okay. So for anybody wondering, why aren't you doing X, Y, Z? What are you saying that you're doing everything you possibly can right now to address it behind the scenes versus any,
publicly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all going on where it can't be seen in a public manner.
And with that said, I mean, obviously we're talking right now, but this was something that you wanted to do?
Yeah. I asked you.
So just one final thing before we wrap up, because obviously you've said some things, you shared some details, even though you're also handling some things behind the scenes. But would you say that there's any sort of motivator as to like why you wanted to talk about this right now, given the whole social media aspect of things that's been happening? Like, have you seen any sort of the tweets or any sort of comments that have been surrounding the situation? Like, was that a motivator for you, or what made you want to say something right now?
Seen it all. I've watched it quietly, and it's been, well, disgusting for one.
And when you say it's been, what's been disgusting?
Just the backlash from trying to speak out about something like this. When you try to bring something up and you're getting told to go kill yourself and being called every name you can possibly think of.
Would you say that this is applying to you or me or both? Like, were people? I don't know if people were telling you that or.
I think now I've gone quite quiet. It's mostly you. It's very much you.
So you've seen the comments I've been getting?
Yeah.
Poor Ohm.
Eat shit and live. How about that? Does that make you feel better? I didn't tell you to die.
It's not nice to see the person who did try to help you be attacked for doing the right thing.
I appreciate that.
Ohm conspired against people, you bimbo. What are you talking about? Like fucking bitch.
We didn't look again, and that's the thing. Look, let's say he has altruistic
reasoning, intent,
raising it. He has altruistic intentions. He went the worst possible way about handling them. He really did. He really did. He could have just done things just behind the scenes himself. Could have called the police, you know what I'm saying? Could have, or you know what? Could have advised these people to call the police, file police reports, things like that. Could have collected evidence himself to turn over to the police if he thinks that he might have had anything that could be incriminating. There's just so many ways he could have handled this himself. You know what I mean?
What is he going to do? He's not an authoritative figure. He's just a YouTuber.
Yeah. Again, what he should not that he could really do anything, but at least he could have pointed people in the right direction. I mean, look, if these people don't know how to use Google well enough, and maybe he does, maybe he could teach them how to use Google. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he handled things very, very poorly. Let's continue on here. And the thing is, again, what if this situation were to be true, right? He already messed it up for her. You know what I mean?
I mean, on Twitter right now, he's talking about lawyers and shit. I'm like, did this girl, why are you making this fucking interview? Why are you posting these fucking stories? Is that what your lawyer told you to do?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, why not go through the lawyers to begin with? But let's continue on here real quick.
Well, we'll see. Clearly, I know that this has been a hard situation for fans, and even for me as somebody that considered him a good friend. I mean, clearly, you had a relationship with him at one point too.
Do you hear the pain in his voice? How hard it is for him to do this to his, former friend?
Yeah, even though this is like his 8th attempt.
Yeah, all that pain.
This stuff has not come from a place of malice or hate or any sort of vendetta. It's just been a situation that started to surface months ago, and that is clearly not okay. I can't see any way to get past it. And but yeah, it's been a very, very difficult situation. I'm sorry that you went through what you went through when it came to trying to speak out, and I'm also especially sorry that you were put in that situation. Based off of what you had shared, in your past history with Delirious. We've covered it about as best we can. Hopefully, this is enough for people to understand at least your side of things. And again, you're not the only person. But thank you so much for talking with me. And
Welcome.
I wish you luck with everything going on behind the scenes.
Did Ohm's apology make you feel better?
Editing this video to let you guys know.
Oh, I was like, did Ohm's apology make you feel better?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it you got to start from somebody. So maybe one is as good as any. But
I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you sooner. I'm sorry I used to play video games with these guys.
Here's Ohm's last little bit of it, real quick.
Yeah, let's get it.
I'm just gonna play this part real quick. I'm gonna step away from the computer for just a while. I play this last little bit, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, that there are other girls, as mentioned, one of which got scared into silence back in March. This was at a time that authorities were looking to speak with her. She has not been willing to speak with authorities since then. But there's another girl as well that I will be posting an interview with shortly. She has her own experience, her own story that was years after Sai, the person that was just speaking. I want to clarify again that these allegations are very serious. They're very real. The girls have fully validated themselves, their full identity, name, address, everything. And without going into too much detail, I know for a fact that they have been complying and seeking help behind the scenes. There are a lot of things going on that I have not even talked about, even on my side, that I probably will soon. But I just want you to know that they are doing everything that they can. At no point have they seemed to be out for anything else. This is not about clout. It's not for attention. It's not for any sort of gain. None of them have ever even mentioned anything monetarily. They have done nothing but express that they feel victimized, especially as they matured and they understood what was going on. I can also tell you this, that they have seen the backlash that I've gotten and have actually been pretty terrified by it. There have been easily thousands of tweets at this point, easily thousands of comments have been left on my videos. I still have my likes disabled. My comments, are still getting flooded every single day with hate. This also applies to Instagram. There have been death threats against me. I've had accounts hacked. I've had my internet connection DDoSed. I've had threats against my dog, both death threats and just wishing him death. I've had people encouraging me to commit suicide. This is completely uncalled for. This is not okay. And I just want to make that clear. This is not okay under any circumstances. None of this is fabricated. None of this is a lie. There were attempts to address these things privately in the past. And this is one thing that I think people often don't understand, that if they ever see anything boil over on social media or anything else, or even like some sort of reporting channel, it's a lot of times something that is a result of things not being solved behind the scenes. I don't want to go into every single detail here, and I did go into it a little bit on Twitter, but there were private conversations about this. I was lied to. I was lied to repeatedly. I heard victims being made out to just be completely full of crap. I've seen victims get intimidated and scared. And actually in the next video, you guys will learn more about how deep that goes. It's actually pretty terrifying, and it only highlights the seriousness of the situation. I also want to highlight something that's very important, okay? On YouTube and Twitter, whether it comes to creators or, so-called influencers, there have been all sorts of people that have been doing these sorts of things over the years. In my immediate circles alone, there have been half a dozen people. One, from what I recall, was arrested last year and is currently facing potential jail time. But for the most part, we have yet to see arrests in so many other cases. And this includes other people in the group that have had claims, one of which even admitted what they were doing. And then you even look at situations, for example, with the recent case of EDP 445, where they had him.
See, this is where, look.
This is where he destroys his entire video.
This is where he kind of destroys his argument here, because the thing is, he doesn't mention one very crucial thing about EDP 445, but we'll let him finish his part here real quick, and then we'll give some final thoughts on it.
With text logs, they had him on voice. They had him even admitting to things in person, and he's still walking the streets. These things are a process. And it's not for victims to get justice as you think. But what I can tell you is these girls are doing everything they can.
I don't know, man. John, do you think that he's being manipulative, or he's just really dumb?
See, the thing is, I think it's a little bit of both. I think he's being
disingenuous.
I think he's being disingenuous, but I think it's also, look, here's the thing though. He makes it seem like, I'm just giving a platform for them to speak this, that, or the other. It's just like, listen, your platform for them to speak might give them some kind of temporary comfort, for all we know, right? Maybe it does, right? Maybe it gives them some kind of closure. Maybe it gives them some kind of solace if they've exhausted all other options outside of, like they've gone to the police have done nothing. They've brought like evidence that could be substantiated, and they've done nothing, and there's been some injustice that has occurred in their life, maybe. But here's the thing.
what do you hope to do, right? What justice do you hope to get by doing this either? I mean, it's not really going to help them. They're not going to be further along anywhere than they were before, outside of maybe, depending on their own motivations, maybe they get a higher follower count on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Maybe not. But again, I don't see how it changes anything at all. You know what I mean? By you just saying, oh, I'm just trying to give him a platform and a voice and this, that, and
his example was completely disingenuous. He's like, oh, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah. He's like, EDP is still walking the streets, and justice, isn't an easy process. I'm like, bro, EDP is walking the streets because this was taken to the internet and not the police. You missed that big ass part.
Yeah, just like he's doing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's finish the rest of this here real quick.
The scenes in the most appropriate way possible. But with that said, I think I've said about all I can say right now with the situation. As mentioned, there will be another interview going up shortly, and I may also provide some updates here as well as to something that I'm dealing with on my end that is also quite severe in regards to this. I ask that everybody please look at this with an open mind. I also ask that colleagues and friends and brands that I work with keep an open mind with the situation. I understand that there were a lot of claims made about this being fake, a malicious, petty thing, and I can promise you that the words being said are not accurate. Things that had been shown were completely spun in a way to make it look way worse than it was, including the deletion of messages, for example, when Discord messages were shown, of a completely unrelated situation. On multiple occasions this year, I've been asked for help with these things, and I chose to open up my platform and put myself at risk in order to help people that were trying to get their voices heard. That is what hero.
Right, he's the patron saint of sexual abuse.
Yeah, I'm a hero.
Yeah.
Again, let me be clear. This is not coming from a place of malice. It is not meant to be a vindictive action. I've been asked for help by several people who are afraid to come forward. They're afraid of the sheer size of the audience involved. They're afraid of being made out to be liars, as they've already seen. This has been completely swept under the rug on multiple fronts. It has been a group collective to try to bury this. It is not something that I intended on being involved in. This situation has clearly been one of the most destructive situations I've dealt with in my entire career in this space. I've had my character completely assassinated, creating doubt and friends who think that I would go to the level of creating something like this up. I've been trying to do the right thing in a space where we have seen this come up repeatedly with girls who have allegations that are incredibly concerning. I take absolutely no joy in this. There is absolutely no benefit in it, and there never has been expected to be. I want to make that clear. So again, I ask that you please keep an open mind with this. Please reevaluate.
That's a lie. When he said there's no benefit in it, that's an absolute lie. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's another instance of him being disingenuous. There is absolutely a benefit to it. Revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge. That's it.
Dude, we learned that with Narrator. He did the same kind of video.
Yes. Yeah.
And he admitted specifically, yes, I did this for revenge. Like,
yes. Yeah. You got him to admit it. I remember. And here's the other thing. Look, here's the biggest problem with all this, right? Regardless of whether it's this person or another person or anybody else that he has interviews with, because of how he handled things initially, he's muddied the water for all of them. Look, for all we know, he was telling the truth. There could be some truth to what's happening here. Of course, we're not really seeing any receipts to really back it up, right? We're seeing some things. We're seeing some things that are being shown, right? We're
mostly Ohm's tweets, but whatever.
Yeah, we're seeing some things, but again, we're not seeing, like with Lou, right? The French girl in the whole pyrocynical stuff. At least Lou, when she was saying stuff, she at least like showed something, right? She had something to show.
She had a photo of ancient reality in her bed. Well, you know what I mean? That's more than anything that I've seen from anybody's, like, whatever. I saw Louis with a fake dick pic, so I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, and again, look, there's a lot more of something, but even then, like, we haven't seen anything yet. And again, it's not to say it doesn't exist. Maybe in the next video he drops, he'll show in the next video. Yeah, maybe he'll show something, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably.
Maybe he'll show something. Look, again, I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna go out on a limb and defend Delirious because I don't know Delirious. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, when you get to a certain, and honestly, look, I don't care what Delirious does in his private life. You know what I mean? Whatever he does is as long as he is, look, as long as he's doing everything by the book, he's not doing anything illegal, right, or criminal. I don't care. I don't really care what he's doing, as long as he's not actually, again, doing something illegal where he's, victimizing people and stuff like that, like really actually doing. I don't care what he does in his private life, but at the same time, look, I have no defense of him because I don't know. I mean, certainly, like as always, and I've always said this in these types of situations, it's always within the realm of possibility, right? It's always within the realm of possibility that there might be truth to what this person's saying. Maybe not. Maybe it didn't go down like that. It's just again, we have another instance where this person says they have proof, but it's not being shown. And again, maybe they do. Maybe they do. But if you're really trying to convince people, right, of that, just show it, man. I say just show it. I don't see why he wouldn't have just shown it in this video, why he wouldn't have just redacted it. And again, or maybe he's saving it for that next video he's doing. Maybe that's going to be some bigger expose where he shows way more receipts or something like that. And again, maybe something that's actually substantiated that's going to be like, oh my gosh, But
so no, yeah, I know. I'm reading up on the North Carolina thing, and these laws are fucking wild, dude.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to read them. They're uncomfortable. Like, fucking, I'll show it to you later.
Wait, what do you mean uncomfortable? Like, in what sense?
Well, this is the first thing I found. In North Carolina, the age of consent is 16. Sexual intercourse with someone who is under the age of consent is only illegal if the defendant, 1, is at least 4 years older than the victim, 2, at least 12 years of age. So you can be in a relationship with a 12-year-old, but you have to be a 4-year age gap to do so. And I'm like, what? Like, fucking, I was like, sorry, go ahead.
God, I think the 16. I think the 16 to like max would be 14 and 16 because that's high school. 12 isn't that even like before high school?
Yes, dude. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
that's fucking middle school. That's middle school.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So here's my kind of final thought on this whole thing with him, right?
Yeah.
If there's any degree of truth to any of this, right, that can be proven, he already put himself at a disadvantage months ago when he with how he approached all this. Because here's the thing: let's say the girl has all this stuff, right? Let's say for argument's sake, she actually does have proof, and she does end up showing proof, right, that what she's claiming is true. He's already muddied the water so much that there's always going to be a cloud of doubt hanging over it because people are going to question the authenticity of it because of who Ohm decided to associate with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm putting more
because of how he handled things.
Putting more Ohm shit in chat because
there's
always just a gold mine right now for bullshit.
There's always going to be a cloud over all of it. You know what I mean? And that kind of sucks because what if, let's just say, what if this girl is telling the truth? What if, right?
Yeah.
What if it ends up that she's telling the truth? You know what I mean? He just this just again, because of how he muddied the waters initially, he kind of destroyed any chance of people really believing her. Now again, there's seemingly a lot of support for her in the comment section here, right? But for all we know, he could be deleting comments. For all we know, you know what I mean? So just to make it appear that way.
Well, like when there's a fresh Me Too out the thing, a lot of people always do support until people start picking shit apart.
Yes.
And then the tides turn. That's what I'm saying. Public opinion is very fickle. Relying on public opinion is not the best idea. She was complaining about coming out on Twitter and it didn't work out so well in her favor.
Yeah.
That's because you're taking it to online, dude. Like, not everyone's going to have your back. These are strangers you're taking this shit to. Yeah, this is public opinion. And you're going against like an internet celebrity, okay? Of course it's not going to go well. You're not handling it right. You didn't show any kind of fucking proof. Everyone's got to take your word for it. You know what I mean? Even with this interview.
Yeah. So, well, you got to take his word for it and you got to take her word for it. That's basically where we're at because there's nothing that's shown that could really be like, okay, well, got him right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we see her. All right, this is one of his tweets. This is mostly a federal matter due to international and domestic allegations of CP, fake email, on social media accounts, threats of kidnapping of newborn. Okay, I think this is something completely different. But here's the thing. Again, look, if like I said, if that's the case, right, where he was engaging with her, having her send pictures, having her send videos, and he recorded any of that and is in possession of that, that is something that Delirious could still get ding dong. If ding dong,
Sure.
But that's something that he could get in trouble for if he's still in possession of those things, right? If this is all true, right, and he's in possession of those things, then he'd be screwed. You know what I mean? Stick a fork in him, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, I don't know how this is going to go, depending on the fact that they've essentially tipped them off. You know what I mean? By having this interview. So, and there are some things in the twit longer that the way Delirious handled it, I think is kind of interesting, because Delirious attacks her character. Doesn't really address her allegations, right? Doesn't confirm or deny anything. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah.
But it's just his response to it. I found it to be also kind of interesting. Like I said, I'm not saying. Again, I'm not on his side on it, not on Ohm's side of it, not on this girl's side of it. It's just the way this is all coming about. Again, I don't think is the right way. I don't think it's, it's bizarre. There's nothing out, at least in regarding this allegation, that one could look at and say, like, well, there's clearly a liar here. This, that, or the other.
I'm just taking Delirious' side for now.
See, I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. Because again. And it's
why are you so hesitant to do?
Well, because the thing is, for one, I don't know the guy, I don't know his character. And the thing is, look, truthfully, Delirious does seem like he does seem like kind of a dummy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, look, he seems like a nice guy, right, in terms of what he does online. But here's the thing: we don't know with 100% certainty. You know what I mean? Just because somebody portrays themselves a certain way online, that they're innocent of anything. Now, he could just be ignorant. He could just be that dumb. You know what I mean? That he constantly gets caught up in these situations because of irresponsibility. And we also have to take into account he was younger then, although he was still considered an adult. He was younger then. Maybe he, I don't know. But here's the thing, like, right? He claims that he didn't know the other girl's age. The girl Breland, right, never came forward and said anything. She never said anything in defense of herself. She went immediately into lockdown and just kind of disappeared. Never addressed the situation. So far,
that's probably the next Ohm interview.
Maybe she comes out of the woodwork. Now this girl's saying that she knew that she knew and 100% has proof on it. Of course, though, Ohms has said that before in the past, that he has seen proof. Trust me, bro. I've seen the proof, and we've never seen it, right? But he's also saying that he's going to put out more videos. So what if he does end up showing the proof in another video? And again, there's no reason to take Ohm's word for anything. That's what I'm saying. There's really no way to know who is telling the truth in the situation at all. And the thing is, the way, look, I'm going to be honest, the way Delirious, addressed the situation with the other girl before, he straight up said, look, I never knew her age. I found out after the fact and I was embarrassed. And there's nothing to refute that so far. And again, I guess for now we got to take his word for it, unless the girl comes out and she's saying the opposite thing, right? Then it's going to be a he said, she said. The way I see this situation, it could potentially be the same thing. But I don't know. That's the thing. I just don't know. And the way he addressed this is different from the way he addressed the previous situation. Which, again, that doesn't mean anything. Maybe he just is like, this is so absurd, I'm not even going to address her accusations. But he went straight for her character. You know what I mean? Which I think
the way that he went after her character, though, I think wasn't his main point to say she's not well in the head. She's a little unstable to stuff like that,
Yeah, but I saw the messages, and the thing is, maybe she's not, right? Maybe she's not well. Maybe she is mentally unstable. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, she can make the argument that those are just jokes because some of them do seem to come across as jokes. But I don't know.
My criticism. That's my criticism of it.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if that's her sense of humor. I don't because I don't know her.
Or it is on the flip side as well. If he's like she's taking it to social media, right? Maybe he's just trying to win the social dominance game.
Well, it could be, but here's the thing, right? In the way I see it, it's really weird the way he decided to address it, and some of that stuff is literally out of context. Like, there's one where she threatened to kiss herself, KYS, and she, what is it? It's clearly a joke, but I'm like, it was presented in a way to make it look, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Ohm can't bitch about that because literally he dropped a Google Doc with the same kind of content stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't
I think it's also kind of a trap. Like in a way, I don't really care for that kind of response because it doesn't really reassure me that, like you kind of deny anything. But at the same time, I'm like, if you want to fight fire with fire, go ahead. But I mean, that's your choice.
See, the thing is too, and just to add to what we're saying, the thing is too, is with Louis' situation, right? Mm-hmm. There was a lot more that was out there. You know what I'm saying? All sides were pretty much out, and it was a little bit easier to, I guess, take a side or come to a more logical conclusion. See, the thing is with this, all right, he's saying that he's going to drop more videos. Okay, well, let me see what you got. Because what if he does show the receipts in the next video? What if? You know what I mean?
I'll have to be very skeptical about.
Look, there's still room for a healthy dose of skepticism all around, right?
Yeah. It's too early to pick a side. It's too early. Like I'm just basically.
I'm just making a gut decision right now.
That's fine, dude.
And look, and maybe your gut is completely right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's completely right.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm leaning in that direction, but at the same time, I want to do a little more research.
Same. Like because of how Ohms handles stuff. Yeah, I am. If I were, I think it might be the same song and dance again. But look, you never know. That's all I'm saying. It's like you never know, and I never try to make take a declarative stance on stuff until I know
the likelihood of Ohm coming out with something that's actually like, true after all this shit. It's like 1 in a million at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the thing. It's because his credibility's kind of already been shot and dragged through the mud. It's a tough sell. It's a really tough sell. And again, and here's the thing. Let's say, like I said, what if for whatever reason, what if she ended up telling the truth again because of how he handled stuff in the past? There's always going to be a cloud of suspicion over her because of how Ohm handled things before. You know what I mean?
Why did she pick Ohm? She should have just went to Keemstar too. Fuck it.
Yeah. There's no reason. She would have been better off on her own, I think. Right?
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. She said it didn't work out so well, so that's probably why.
Maybe not. But it's just, I don't know. At this point,
just almost the wrong person.
I just think he was the wrong person,
really
to go to with this stuff. That's what I think when it's all said and done.
Bo has credibility issues. You can hear that. I don't know. It's clear that he has a fucking bone to pick with the Vanoss crew.
Quite honestly, this is sad, but you would have been better off going to Prison Made Luke.
Yeah, I agree with Uncharted Gears.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's fucked up. Fucked up. Yeah, it's true, but it's fucked up.
Yeah. Uncharted Gears here says Ohm starts trouble with everyone, so that makes it harder for everyone involved. Yeah, I think so too. Because again, he kind of poisoned the well. You know what I mean? He pretty much poisoned the well when he first came out with this stuff, including her, because he mentioned Psy, in the beginning as well. And then he got mixed up with all that other stuff, right? So
I'll give it to Ohm though. He's well spoken to the point where, you kind of have to think if he's like telling the truth or not. Because you kind of have to wonder, like I asked you, I'm like, you think he's being malicious or he's stupid? It makes me think shit like that. But at the same time, he still says dumb shit that I don't think he realizes that counters what he's saying. Like the EDP argument annihilates his entire interview, in my opinion.
Yeah, trying to use that as a point. Yeah, that's a bad point to bring up. And then again, just some of the other things he said.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to outright believe anybody in the situation. I want to see more.
When Ohm is leading the fucking conversation anyway. So do you think he's a groomer? Yeah. Do you think he's a piece of shit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he touches little girls. Yeah, I think so. Fucking so stupid.
Yeah, the way that it feels like the interview, a lot of it is coached. You know, it really did remind me a lot of the Keemstar interview with the French girl, Lou.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, John, somebody did ask H2O Delirious. It's suspicious that you're not denying her claims, just writing her off as mentally deranged. I don't like or trust Ohm, but you're handling this horrifically. You seem incredibly guilty.
Well,
their response was, claims are not true. Is that enough?
Oh, Delirious?
Yeah, that was his response.
I don't know.
I
See, that's the thing. I guess. I mean, look, and again, look, you know, the way, because the thing
honestly,
is, with the other,
don't you think he's playing it like in a way right? Because like, so what do they like? Because if he starts addressing it, right? If he even gives it any mind or actually even treats it like seriously, that just gives them a little bit of leverage, a little bit of power.
Sure, but again,
well, okay. Like let's throw examples out there, right? I think John, I was speaking to you about this earlier. Let's compare this to the Jake Paul chick, right? Where she came out and said shit, and what did Jake Paul do? He's like, none of this shit is true. This is all completely false. I'm talking to my lawyer. I'm lawyering up. I think that would have been, I think that would have been a better approach. But go ahead,
she went quiet. Yeah, she went quietly into the night. You know what I mean? And never to
be seen again. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's just like at this point, if I were Delirious, I would just take legal action, man. Because if this is what he's gonna expect, because the thing is, that's the other thing too. One thing that's interesting is how quickly this tweet longer came out as well. So I think he was anticipating this person coming out, because this person did come out before. When the drama alert came out, this person came out and was saying stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think he probably was anticipating that this person was going to come back around at some point.
Dude, she was in contact with Marcel. He probably warned him, you know, whatever time period that was, because we don't know, because it's cut out.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know about, and again, I'm not saying that he's guilty of anything. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I have no clue. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, look, hey, he ain't, you know, I don't know the guy. You know what I mean? I don't owe him my you know, my loyalty or pure, my loyalty or pure belief either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, I just try. It was the same thing. Look, when the whole thing first kicked off with Louis too, man, I was pretty much down the middle. Now there was a lot more information there for me to draw from that I could say, well, to me, it doesn't seem like this is as bad as it's being made out to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just because of what was out there on all the sides involved. Mm-hmm. So to me, that was a little bit more clear cut. And again, to me, look, I'm leaning more towards the side because, like I said, I am leaning more towards the side of, because it's Ohm and the way he handles things. You know, look, Ohm, you're coming back around again, and you're asking people to believe you, and it's just like I just don't know, bro, because you've mishandled stuff really bad.
Well, like even with the Louis stuff,
can't really take your word for stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the Louis stuff, they had more information available to read, and it wasn't anything.
Yeah,
you know,
it was bad. It was just really bad.
Exactly, you know, but this one has nothing. So I'm like,
nothing,
but Ohm's like, oh, I got more. Just wait, baby, I'm coming. And so I'm just like, I can't make a definitive, conclusive decision yet. Like, so I'll see. I'll entertain him. I'll see what he's got. But if it's bullshit, I'll call you out. Like, I'll tell you right now.
Put the cards on the table, and that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why I'm not coming to any conclusion, though, either, because he said that he has another video interview coming out, right? So it's just like, okay. I mean, I assume that I don't know if that's going to be with the same person or a whole new person, or if he's going to do
a different person. I think he mentioned it's a new person.
You know, see what would help with this person, right? The person he just interviewed, this C girl. You know what I mean? I think it would have helped for him to show that message where she shows that, hey, I'm only such and such age. And Delirious being like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care. Show me your titties.
And again, and if it's an account that was his that he cannot refute, right? I mean, that'll say a whole hell of a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And he could have adapted that.
I think honestly, if they would have shown that, that would have been a very strong fucking point. I don't think any of us could have countered, you know,
and be like, okay, you got problems.
So like, you know, as of now, on the information available, I am leaning more towards Delirious, but like I'm gonna stay reserved until I see everything.
Yeah, reserve judgment. Same. That's what I'm looking at too. It's just like maybe, but not. But at me, it's more like I'm not gonna take any side in this because I just don't know. I want to see more first.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't impressed by Delirious's response too much. I thought it was like, because I don't know how he meant it either. I don't know if he was like, like, well, take that, this is what you do to me, so take that. I don't know if he was being vindictive. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know if that was just the best he had.
Yeah,
so.
and this is, and again, it's just looking at it from a purely objective point of view. I mean, exactly. I wasn't too enthused with his response either. I'm just kind of like, okay, but why don't you just outright say, she's full of shit? Because I mean, at least with the other girl, right? He said, yes, look, I did do that, but I did not know her age. I did not know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he seemed to be saying things a lot more declaratively before. Whereas this, he's not. It's just kind of like, and again, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe there's a reason why he decided to, approach it this way, right? I don't know.
Pissed off.
Or maybe it's just a purely emotional response. Maybe he's going to do something a little bit more clean later. Maybe he's already seeking legal counsel. I don't know. So I guess I like I said, and I want to see what else Ohm says he has. Let's see. But I mean, I have no reason to believe anything Ohm says at all.
Yeah. So, same.
Up to this point,
Yeah.
And like I said, look, if he ends up being right, you know what I mean? He took a long way to get there, right?
Yeah.
He took the long, hard road to get there. If for whatever reason, if there's any chance, right, that he's right about any of this stuff. And again, I just don't think, because of the track record and because of there still not being anything up to this point that really substantiates any of those claims, I don't think we're ever really going to see anything like that from him. We may. He might surprise us. I could be completely wrong. And like I said, I am okay with admitting when I'm wrong about something. But
dude,
I don't know.
What if Ohm shows a bunch of CP on his stream?
Oh, Jesus! Oh my God.
That'd be glorious. That'd be a glorious way for him to go out. You see, I wasn't lying.
Oh my God.
And like he goes to jail, but at the same time, like he sacrificed himself for the victims. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the best way.
He said, "Look, what was it?" He said. He said it in the TJV interview. He said, I'm willing to fall on my sword for the victims. Okay.
Yeah, I think he should do that. I think he should really do that. Like live. I think you should show all the CP Ohm and just go down, but like prove your point at the same time. So you should go to jail, but prove the victim's innocence. I think that's the best way.
Oh my God!
Look, I guess we'll see. if he's going to be true to that word.
He's going to die by the sword, man. He's going to die by the sword.
Yeah, in prison. Yeah, but they're gonna toss his salad like his name's Romaine. You're like, John, can you just agree with me? He should just show CP on his stream, right?
I mean, if he wants, that'll be it. That'll be right, right?
Dude, you said you'd fucking do one good for the victims. You should just do it. I think you should do it and rip the Band-Aid off, dude. Just show everything. Rip the Band-Aid off. Make good by your word for the victims. Do it for the victims, Ohm. If you really care right now.
I was telling the truth. It's like, now you go to jail now.
Yeah. But I'll be like, but he wasn't lying. Like fucking. I guess you are a piece of shit, Delirious. But like, good on Ohm for taking it in the ass now for distributing CP live.
Yeah.
But like at the same time.
Yeah, and look, and in fairness, right, to this, maybe Delirious got duped again. I don't know. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. We just don't know the situation. And again, it's easier. Look, it's easier for people. I can see why people are kind of showing this girl support, because I think it's a lot easier for people to want to believe someone when they actually hear a voice. Even though, like I said, I don't hear anything in her voice that convinces me that I should 100% believe her either. You know what I mean? I'm just like, all right, but you say this, you say that, you say you're handling it like this, but again, you ran to Twitter first, and you seem to be very disappointed over the fact that you got ratioed. And it's just like, look, if you're telling the truth, then the ratio shouldn't matter to you, right?
Yep.
Because, you feel, hey, look, I feel 100%, comfortable in what I am saying. I'm confident in what I'm saying. I don't care what y'all think. I know I'm telling the truth. And look, time will be on my side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ohm should show CP for the sake of the victims and clear their fucking name. Come on, Ohm. Grease them cheeks and show the proof.
Where's Pescator? We need him.
I'm right here. Grease them cheeks. Fucking Ohm. I almost said Pescator. Fucking do it and fucking prove them and let's be done with this. I don't want to see any more interviews. Show me the proof.
Toy get dark mode on. My eyes. Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, XP. I'm sorry. I don't use dark mode. I like the classic. I'm sorry. But I guess we could look at some of this stuff and then we'll just go ahead and wrap up. I guess he's been tweeting ever since he dropped the stuff. Talk about Delirious, how you attack the girl's mental health. Character assassination should be telling in and of itself. I mean, look, if the person is essentially calling him a predator, I mean, his
dude, like some of those screenshots don't even really say anything about mental health. I'm just like, some of them just look like out of context or jokes and shit, So I don't even know what Ohm's crying about. Show the fucking proof. Go to jail and show the proof. Show me. Not really. I don't want to see it, but I want you to go to jail. That'd be nice.
So this guy, he's saying, he's calling Delirious by his government name. Yep. Let's take this to court and discover, and discovery will be your downfall. My legal retainer is in. Let the world see who you are and how many you hurt. Next interview will be up today. Please listen to the girls with allegations despite the noise and his repulsive attacks against them. See that? No, I'm not just going to listen to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to see what all is out there, and draw my own conclusion like I always have. I'm just, know.
But you see, he sounds fucking crazy confident, Yeah. So he's like,
look, maybe he has something.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe he has something. Like I said, we'll see.
Believe me and the victims, or I'll light myself and all these people on fire. Fucking, oh my God, could you imagine?
Yeah.
It's crazy shit.
Yeah. So we're seeing this one. The origin of the person in all this is a streamer who dated Delirious, even allegedly reported Delirious to the police for revenge porn, and CP also has been terrified about speaking up. And this is where he mentions she knew of another girls herself with CP claims, one of which is tied to Louis Caliber. Notice I didn't tag Louis in that.
Yeah.
Interesting. The hate mob is reacting to repeated character assassination instead of the. See, the thing is, I mean, he could complain about this, but again, look, you went about this all wrong. You know what I mean? So again, if the girl for whatever reason was telling truth, or any of them, right? Not just this girl. What if there is one of these girls that he's interviewing that actually does have something to substantiate her claims? Again, he's already put them in a bad position. You know what I mean? He's put them at a disadvantage because of him being the one, because of him being the medium, the middleman, I should say, for it to go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I'm exhausted. I don't even want to go to Crow Street.
Well, I don't blame you, dude. I've been going at it technically for 6 hours. What the fuck?
Yeah.
With Maya, I came here, and now Crows.
This is pretty crazy, right? Look what he says here. The distractions are just that. And are petty and low, even making claims about my private life, all while Delirious had 2 separate girls in the past year indicate that he's been cheating on Liz. Delirious belongs in prison, especially after allegedly threatening a victim's newborn. What the?
But like
What are you talking about?
Ohmwrecker cheated on his girlfriend too.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Like, how come nobody ever brought this to anyone's attention?
Well, that's
I don't think anyone cares.
That's why we have you to bring it to everybody's attention.
Put it out there. Thank you, Josh. I will do that. Actually, should I make a video on Ohmwrecker?
Maybe you should. Maybe you should to put that out there, right? But
why don't you try reaching out to Ohmwrecker, interview his ass?
Because I don't want to talk to him.
Oh, well, all right.
So I want to talk to that guy.
Yeah,
but maybe for the sake of posterity, right?
I mean, he won't. I don't think he's going to talk to Crow ever again.
Why? What happened there?
Crow leaked all his fucking DMs.
Was Crow supposed to do that?
Well, he didn't want him to, but I think he secretly wanted him to. So,
yeah. But here's so Uncharted Gear says if he was actually reported to the police, wouldn't we know about an investigation by now? Maybe not. Just depends. The thing is, that's the way things should have been handled from the beginning. They should have just gone through the legal process. That's honestly the best way. Get something on record. You know what I mean? Because if this person is a repeat offender, like I said, eventually, if there's enough substantiation of evidence, that person is they're going to be looked into. At some point in time. And him bringing up the EDP situation was one of the dumb points that he had in his video. Because again, look, the reason why that didn't go anywhere was because of it being, like Aura said, being handled online instead of through the proper authorities.
Yeah, Chet Goldstein and his friend.
Yeah,
I almost said CC Unit. I swear to God, I think every time I see his name, I see C cunt, and I'm like, oh fuck, like CC Unit.
Yeah, see,
Chet Goldstein units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
But we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Sen and Aura, for coming on. We're probably going to be on in a half hour. We'll be on Crow's stream.
I like how you said that so detrimental. You're like, we'll be on Crow's.
It's more of this, no, which is fine. No, I don't mind it, but it's just hopefully
it's exhausting.
What's gonna suck is gonna be going through the video.
Yeah. You already know why.
That'd be my third time going through that shit.
Yeah,
I know. I was gonna tell you, Sam, that you shouldn't have wanted.
Maybe there's one that we could look up, but I think I've said. I think
I'm probably gonna go more ham.
Yeah, I think I've said all I could say up to this point as far as what I think. Looking to see what Ohm provides, although I'm not expecting all that much. My expectations aren't very high, to be honest.
I don't know why the fuck, dude. I kind of want him to just release everything, but I kind of don't because I don't want to watch his shit because it's so fucking irritating to watch. Oh my God, I got up early as fuck to watch this fucking thing, and I took notes and all this dumb shit.
No.
I just, again, the whole thing of just, he's basically like, this exists, this proof exists, but I'm not going to show it. And it's just like, okay.
It's illegal for me to show. I'm like, how the fuck do you know? Have you seen it? Okay. Did you open the child porn folder, You could tell me. It's okay. I'll keep your secret.
Well, here's the thing. He says, right? He says, to protect her privacy, I'm not going to show this message that she had with Delirious, where she tells him that she's a minor. And I'm just like, okay, but you showed her email, and you didn't even really
fucking ID. You showed her fucking ID. You cuntard. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's right. She did. He showed her her passport, and it's just
he did.
I'm like, well, why not just go ahead and show the redacted message? I'm like, that would go a long way. I mean, you don't have to just redact her name, right, in the thing, or show something that like you don't have to show anything, right? Like you don't have to show her picture or any of that. Redact all that shit, right? Redact anything that might reveal who she is or her location. Show the message then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. I'm probably gonna head out because
we're gonna wrap it here. So, thank you all.
I'll holler at you in a minute.
Thank you all for joining the stream. Thank you, Zombie Fox and Rogue. Appreciate the donos. It helps. And thank you for everybody who joined. Anybody who's new, appreciate you being here. Gulf City, Johnny Blaze, Kyra the Ninja. Let's Complain. Bowsette, Latchkey Goth Boy. Who else was here? I'll try to catch you all if I can. Cthulhu Fan, Esme, Corono, always a pleasure.
Corono.
Yeah, Solid Redfield, thank you. Uncharted Gears, Gabe the Gen, who was here earlier, but I think he left. Who else do we have? Lance, what is it? Lastus of Spades, thank you. He said Ohm's a sociopath in his thing. Let's see. Who else? Poor Souls.
Are you reading off everybody in your chat?
No, just as far back as I can see. Not everybody, because I know there was more. But I appreciate y'all joining. We'll be on, like I said, with Crow later. And thank you, Corona. Thank you for that. We'll catch you guys on. We'll see you in the next one.
You do it right, John. Do it right.
Well, you say it then.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Boom. And thank you, Italo. Thank you for joining as well. Y'all have a good one. Have a good night, y'all.
Goodbye. Good God.